Hello, everyone, and welcome into Game 19 of the season. It's your Hoptown Hoppers now in second place with a 13-5 record, going on the road to Paducah, Kentucky to take on the Chiefs that sit in fourth place with a 9-9 record. Hello, everyone. My name is Colin Grithers, bringing you today's action here live on Hoptown Hoppers TV. Hoptown had a difficult night last night. They had a good battle with the Henderson Flash and succumbed 6 runs in the 8th inning to lose 12-7. It's their first loss in a while, and they're on a completely different trajectory of Paducah. We'll talk about it here in a moment. But first, let's look at last time out for both teams. Of course, Hoptown lost last night. They had a good game, but things just got away from them in that 6th inning. Paducah also lost last night, 9-5 on the road against the Fulton Railroaders. So they return back here to face the Hoptown Hoppers, who they just faced on Friday night. We were here just a few days ago where the Hoppers won 6-3 after a 4-run 9th inning. They went into that final inning trailing by a run, put up 4 on Trey Dooley, and ended up getting the 12th win of the season. Weather today is about 71 degrees outside. It's pretty cool and cloudy. The rain has already passed through, and we're not expecting any more, so we should be good for the rest of today's contest. Just said that Hoptown's on a completely different trajectory of Paducah lately. Outside of last night's mishaps, Hoptown's won 6 of their last 8 games. For the last week or so for Paducah, completely opposite case. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games, so they have definitely been struggling there. They look to turn things around, but the Hoppers look to spoil yet another home game here at Brooks Stadium. We're just about ready to get underway. The leadoff batter will be Brennan Gibson battling Landon Pudd, the starting pitcher for the Paducah Chiefs. We'll give you details on each of them just in a moment. Pudd is now on the rubber and ready to get us started. First pitch of the game, and we're underway. It's outside with ball 1. Landon Pudd is a 6'4" righty on the mound from Tylersville, Kentucky, as he goes through the windup. Next pitch is at the knees with a fastball for a called strike. Pudd just graduated high school. He's going to be playing next year with Marion Military Institute. This is his 6th appearance of the year. And there's one right down the belt for strike 2. 1-2 is the count to Brennan Gibson. In his previous 5 appearances, 4 of them being starts, he has a 3.5 ERA. Pitch now to the plate. Gibson, ground ball, left side, foul. Count still 1-2. For that 3.5 ERA, he's given up 12 runs, all earned on 32 hits, 5 walks, 16 strikeouts, and only 4 hit by pitches. So he's done pretty well. He's sit in the zone a lot is when you look at this. Not many walks, but plenty of hits and plenty of strikeouts. The 1-2. And I was asked if he went around. He held up in time as the curveball dipped off the corner. And the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, rain passed through here earlier today. Question mark if it would be playable or not. This is probably one of the best fields in the entire OVL. So they were able to get this underway and ready to go for today's action. Just walked out there earlier. It's a little wet, but definitely playable and all good for today's action. 2-2 delivery to Brennan Gibson upstairs, and he'll foul it off on the left side again. Count still 2-2. The Gibson, who went 3 for 3 yesterday in his 2026 Hoptown debut, also got on with 2 walks. So came up to the plate 5 times and got on all 5 times. He also brought in a couple RBIs, had a few stolen bases, had 2 of them to be exact, and scored. The 2-2 is lifted out towards the left field, and that's going to land in front of Andrew Dixon for a leadoff single. 6 times that Gibson's come up, and now 6 times he's gotten on in a Hoppers uniform. So now with 1 on and no outs, Zach Hampton will be the second batter in the Hoppers order. We'll give you the full 9 here in just a moment. As Hampton steps in. Behind him on deck in the 3 spot is Evan Leonard. He'll be the DH today, and in the hole, batting cleanup is Connor Scheidt. He'll be playing first. We'll give you the rest of the 9 in just a moment. First pitch to Zach Hampton from the stretch. Runs inside for ball 1. Well, in the 5 spot is going to be Dom Hartman playing third. Ryan McCartan will be batting 6th and catching. Reed Hayes will be 7th. Easton Beatty 8th. And rounding things up, Cade Wall is playing shortstop and batting 9th. Pitch now 1-0. Gibson takes off. Throw down towards second, and not even close. Gibson has his 3rd stolen base of the season. Look at him take off and already put himself in scoring position as the Hoppers look to strike early. And that pitch did miss the zone, so it's a 2-0 count to Zach Hampton. He came in last night and ended up being the final at-bat, striking out looking. Pitch now is missing glove side on a fastball. 3 balls, no strikes to Zach Hampton. At this point, you're standing on deck as Evan Leonard. You're thinking, you got to make him come to me. He's probably going to be sitting fastball a little bit to get back in the zone. 3-0 pitch is going to be on the inside half with a fastball, clearly a strike. He's off speeds that he's been trying so far, even though extremely early, not really working. As he readies again. The 3-1 pitch is right down Broadway, and now it's a 3-2. Looks in for the sign, still working from the stretch. Now ready, and delivers. Pitch inside, and it's out of the zone. There's another walk. So the first 2 guys get on for the Hoppers, and now Evan Leonard comes up, who also made his Hoptown debut yesterday. He went 1 for 5, getting on his final time at the plate with a double, and put himself in prime spot for Ryan McCartan to come up and deliver a 2-run homer in that 9th inning. It's an absolute moonshot. He'll be back up later in this game. His first pitch from the righty to the right-handed hitter downstairs for ball 1. We'll also look at the defensive alignments for the Paducah Chiefs in this one, and we'll flip it over and give you their 1 through 9 as well as the Hoppers' defensive alignments in the bottom half of the inning. We'll tell you that in just a moment as he's set now. Ready from the rubber and kicks, fires, curveball inside for ball 2. Defensive alignments for the Paducah Chiefs. They've got Andrew Dixon in left field with Jack Robinson in center and Trey Dooley in right. And in the infield from left to right, they've got Landon Gilbert, Jackson Stupski, Max Cope, and Brett Haas. Pitch is ripped out towards left field, and that'll land for at least a single. Gibson gets the wave sign around third and is headed for a score. He's going to come across the plate, and there's a 1-0 early lead for your Hoptown Hoppers. RBI single for Evan Leonard. There's his first RBI of the summer for the red and black. Gibson comes around and scores now for already the 3rd time, and Hampton moves into 3rd. Great piece of hitting. They're getting the punt here early. And it makes sense if you know the scouting report, mentioned a little bit earlier, but if you're just now joining us, Pund is really consistent in the zone. He throws about 60, just a little shy of 63% strikes. Not really walking guys, but it's either a hit or a strikeout for him. First pitch, Connor Scheidt fouls out of play. So again, only 5 walks, which means that for the most part, everything's in the zone. If you're not able to catch up with the pitch, you're going to be sent down in strikes. But if you are, you're going to get something good in play. And this Hopper team can knock the ball around the yard pretty well. Scheidt ready now for the 1-0 pitch with runners on the corners and no outs. That misses in the dirt. Is blocked by the backstop, Kendrick Dunning. And Leonard moves in the scoring position on it. Count evens 1-1. That's the only person we didn't mention for the defensive alignments there. Kendrick Dunning is the catcher for Paducah. 1-1 pitch. Connor Scheidt will leave on the outside corner. Fastball called strike. 1-2 runs the count on today's first baseman with Dom Hartman on deck. 2 in scoring position and still no outs. Pitch comes in. The Scheidt way upstairs and away. And the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scheidt resets in the left-handed box. He's yet to get a hit against Paducah this year. This summer he's 0 for 5 against them, but he does have a .323 batting average coming into this game and 9 RBIs. Curveball in the dirt, and now the count will run full. Good block again from Dunning, who we'll talk about when he comes up to the plate, but he is very new to this roster as well for the Paducah Chiefs. Well, full count, Scheidt an opportunity to give the Hoppers a really good lead. He's batting .455 with runners in scoring position. Pitch comes in, and he'll swing through it for the first out. There's a K to sit him down, and that brings up Dom Hartman. Hartman's playing third today. He went 3 for 5 in yesterday's contest, extending his now 5-game hit streak. Hartman wasn't here last time we made the trip to Paducah. That was on Friday, of course. He just stayed home resting up a slight hand injury, but obviously all is okay. He's here now with the team. Punt now set and delivers the pitch, and it's downstairs for ball one. Hartman's 4 for 14 against Paducah this summer. As he readies in the right-handed box, and punt from the right side of the rubber, kicks and fires. That one right down the middle, deep left field, going back. It's going to have a chance if it's fair, and it's just short of the wall, and it was just foul as well, so it is just a long strike. Had some carry, and was about, 60 feet up there. It was pretty tall. Mammoth of a sky fly ball, and had some wind to push it out a little. But nonetheless, he's back in now with an even 1-1 count. Pitch comes in, and he'll get it off the cap of the bat in fair territory. Throw down the first. Hartman is out. Here comes the runner, the third. Tag is down from Pun, the pitcher, and they'll get an awkward 2-3-1 double play. But the Hoppers do strike first as we check our scoreboard. 1 walk and 2 hits. 1-0 lead for your Hoppers as we head to the bottom half of the first. Slightly lighter crowd here at Brooks Stadium than we've seen so far this year. Sure, the rain and colder weather has deterred some people. I know it's at 71, which isn't bad, but that wind's whipping through and making it quite chilly to the point where plenty of long sleeves and sweatshirts here. But nonetheless, we are now ready for the Chiefs side of the first inning after double play 2-3-1. Ended the first. They scored 1, and the Hoppers lead. On the mound is Carson Knowles getting the start for the Red and Black. Knowles has pitched twice already this year, not as a starter. He's not a typical pitcher as well. He's listed as a catcher for Vol State Community College as well as for the Hoppers. But in his 3.1 innings of work so far this year for the Hoppers, he has a 2.7 ERA, giving up 3 runs, only 1 earned on 4 hits, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. He's ready now as he goes through and delivers his first pitch, and it's above the head of the catcher, Ryan McCartan, for ball 1. At the plate is the left fielder, Andrew Dixon. When we were here on Friday, he also was batting leadoff, went 2 for 5. Ready says Knowles works through the windup on the right side of the rubber. And that pitch, another fastball inside that time. 2-0 the count to Andrew Dixon. Give you the starting 9 for the Paducah Chiefs here again in just a moment. 2-0 pitch coming in right down the middle and roped down the right field line and will hook foul. Thank goodness, because it cleared the fence by a good 5 to 10 feet. So instead of a tie game here at 1-1, it's the 2-1 count. And Dixon will reset now in the right-handed box. And left-handed box, excuse me. Wow, I'm all out of whack after that one. So Dixon, a 6'3 lefty from Lexington, Kentucky, has a 3.05 batting average. Leads this team with 3 home runs. Almost grabbed another. Pitch on the outside corner, fastball called strike, and the count evens 2-2. Not only does he lead this team with 3 home runs, he also has the best slugging percentage and leads them with 17 RBIs. Knowles accepts and works through the windup. The 2-2 pitch to the plate, right down the middle and over on the left side, foul, and now out of play. Landed right near their little party deck they've got down there. Not sure everything they have, but nice crowd over there. Probably a good group outing. Taking in today's Ohio Valley League action. Quick reset, and now Dixon ready in the box. Knowles looks into his backstop, Ryan McCartan. And now ready. He'll fire the 2-2 pitch off speed, misses upstairs, and the count runs full to the leadoff batter. Reset again. I think it's funny that the battery today is Ryan McCartan and another catcher, Carson Knowles. Full count pitch popped up and backwards out of play. Will do it all over. And this is just Carson Knowles' 3rd time on the mound for the Hoppers. Did not pitch with Ball State Community College. He didn't appear in any games. He's only listed as a catcher. And did not appear for them. Full count pitch again down towards right field. Good chase from Easton Beatty, and he'll catch it for out number 1. That one is secured, and that brings up Brett Haas in the 2 spot. We give you the starting 9 for the Paducah Chiefs at this time. It was obviously Andrew Dixon, now Brett Haas. On deck in the 3 spot is Trey Dooley. Cleanup is Austin Wilson, the DH. Kendrick Dunning will be catching and batting 5th. Jackson Supsky's the shortstop, batting 6th. Jack Robinson, center fielder, batting 7th. Batting 8th is Landon Gilbert. And batting 9th is Maddox Cope, the second baseman. Pitch from Carson Knowles, fastball over on the left side. Off one hop, Cade Wall secures it after a bobble, and it's scooped up by Scheit for out number 2. Hoptown dugout fired up after that play. After that one was, really well scooped. It reminded me as if I was going to Graders and ordering some black raspberry chip, and I asked for a double scoop there. One from Cade Wall, where he had to pretty much pop it up to his own, out of his glove into his palm, and then the extra scoop from Connor Scheit. Pitch now will be Trey Dooley's first pitch as a fastball. Outside corner for strike 1. Dooley went 2 for 5 when we were here on Friday. Came in to pitch that 9th inning as though 1 comes in downstairs. Count evens 1-1. He pitched the 9th. That's the first time we've seen him pitch. Has a decent fastball, but couldn't locate it, so had to take some off of it, and the Hoppers jumped all over it. 1-1 delivery, and it's right to the knees for strike 2. The Hoppers got to Dooley quick. They scored 4 runs in the 9th and won that game 6-3. Knowles through the windup again, the 1-2 pitch. Swinging and missing goes Dooley. 3-3 down goes your catcher. Carson Knowles sits them down in order as we head to the second 1-0 lead for your Hoptown squad. They're back to the plate when we return. Back now for the second inning. Hoppers lead the Chiefs 1-0. Glad to have you here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network, and you'll want to stick with us throughout the entire game. We've got third inning with the Hoppers coming up, where Evan Jacob will be joining us in the booth. We've also got some trivia and some great OVL action throughout the entire evening. Well, coming up to the plate will be Ryan McCartan to lead things off in the 6th spot. And it'll be 7 and 8 due up after him. Pund is still the pitcher for the Chiefs. He's out there and dealing from the right side of the rubber. First pitch to McCartan is lifted right side and out of play for strike 1. We mentioned the last game the Hoppers were here on Friday. They won 6-3. Overall this season, the Hoppers are 3-1 against the Chiefs. They won their first bout 10-5. They lost 8-7 in sudden death right here at Brooks Stadium. And then they won 8-5 and 6-3 their last 2 outings. The 0-1 pitch to McCartan is right down the middle off speed for strike 2. McCartan got one at bat last night, and he made the most of it. Had a 2-run jack to left center field as the 0-2 comes in. Left run off the plate, and the count 1-2. Yeah, he sent that thing a country mile and made it 12-9. Tried to spark a comeback and wasn't fruitful, though. He'll swing through the next pitch, and he sent down in 4 pitches with a strikeout, and there's one away in the inning. Second strikeout for Pund on the mound, and that brings up the left fielder, Reed Hayes, who did not appear in yesterday's game. He did play on Friday against the Paducah Chiefs, where he went in for 1 at-bat. He pinch hit in that one and was 0 for 1 technically, but he reached on an error, so he got on his 1 plate appearance, which doesn't count for a base hit. Well, ground ball on the left side is scooped up by the shortstop Stupski, throwing the first. Beats Hayes by about a step for out number 2, and it's even worse that he broke his bat on it, which never is fun, never feels good. Now you got to adjust to a brand new wooden bat. Quickly 2 are away, and Easton Beatty down the 8th spot will be the batter. He's playing right field today. Did not face Paducah last time we were here. Did not play last night. Looking for some good action here. As Pund looks in for the sign and now deals the pitch. Beatty will leave it running off the plate for ball 1. Tried the curveball. On deck is Cade Wall in the 9th spot to flip things over to the top of the order, which is up after him. The 1-0 pitch to the plate is grounded over on the left side for strike 1. And you'll notice Cade Wall batting 9th in this one. And if you've joined us throughout some games this summer, you'll see that sometimes he's in the 9th spot. And other times he's actually batted in the leadoff spot. As the 1-1 comes in, there's a swing and miss from Beatty. It's 1-2. And the big reason with Wall there is he's got the speed, and it's kind of like an extra leadoff guy as you go through the order the second and third time. He can flip things to the top very easily. 1-2 is grounded on the left side and scooped up by the third base coach, Max Kirby. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Kirby celebrated his birthday yesterday. Hoping for a win now in today's game. Score 1-0 in the top of the second with 2 outs and no one on. 1-2 pitch runs inside and actually hits Beatty for the first runner to get on in the inning. So Beatty again a hit by pitch, which is pretty ironic considering he leads this team with now 5 hit by pitches. And that brings up in the 9th spot Cade Wall. He went 1 for 3 in yesterday's contest with a walk and came around and scored in the 4th inning off a 2 RBI single from Brennan Gibson. He's the man that stands on deck too. First pitch, high and in for ball 1. Cade Wall was also in the 9th spot yesterday. Did not play on Saturday against the full count rhythm, but batted leadoff the last time we faced Paducah on Friday. The 1-0 is right down Broadway, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike to Cade Wall. And very fast. He's had a productive summer. He's had a .312 batting average and a .421 on base percentage. 1-1 delivered to the plate, and it's fouled backwards out of play. He'll fall behind 1-2. Pund on the mound. And trying to make quick work in this inning. Again, just graduated high school, just like the last 3 starters we've seen from the Paducah Chiefs. Both of them graduated from McCracken County High School, though. As the 1-2 comes in, Cade Wall leaves it in the opposite batter's box. Fastball misses, and the count evens 2 apiece. But again, Pund is now committed to play at Marion Military Institute. One from the stretch now set on the mound. He'll deal And it's a curveball downstairs, gets behind the catcher, and Beatty will remain on first base. Didn't see the ball immediately and didn't get far away from Dunning behind the dish, so not a bad call to stay. Count now full the wall with the top of the lineup on deck. Hoppers already lead 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. Beatty takes off as a 3-2 comes in, and it's out of play. That one near towards the parking lot, which is right next to the field if you've never been here before. Out of play on the left side is a road, and out of play on the right side is a parking lot for the most part. Pretty big one, too, so probably made contact with the car, unfortunately. Runner takes off, 3-2 upstairs, and there's another walk. Hit by pitch and a walk with 2 outs, put 2 on, and the Hoppers are looking for a 2-out rally sparked here with Brennan Gibson at the top of the order coming up. He's 1 for 1 with a single and came across as the only run so far in this game off an RBI from Evan Leonard. Gibson is now coming up for the 7th time in a Hoppers uniform. In his previous 6, he's reached safely every single time. 4 of them with a single. 4 of them with a base hit. 3 of them were singles, and the other 2 walks. He'll sky one over in foul territory on the left side. Third baseman trying to track it, and eventually will find himself underneath it, and Gilbert catches it for out number 3. 2-out rally will not be happening at this portion of the game. We head to the bottom of the second. Still a 1-0 lead for the Hoppers. Bottom of the second here at historic Brooks Stadium in Paducah, Kentucky. The Chiefs trail your Hoptown Hoppers 1-0 after they scored in the first inning. Chiefs went 3 up, 3 down against Carson Knowles, still out there on the mound. Last inning, it'll be 4, 5, 6 to do up. Beginning with the DH, Austin Wilson. Wilson's walking up now and getting ready to stand in the right-handed box. He is about to say the wrong Austin. They got 2 of them. He's ready now in the right-handed box. First pitch, and he'll foul one off on the left side. 0-1 to the count. Wilson leads the team with a .371 batting average, has been connecting the most on the team. As a redshirt junior at Jackson State Community College, where he had a .296 this past spring. 0-1 delivery from Carson Knowles is tipped back to the backstop, and he's in an 0-2 spot to Knowles. It was a fly out to right field, a ground ball to the shortstop, Carson Knowles. And not Carson Knowles, Cade Wall. And a strikeout swinging to put the Chiefs down in order last inning. Wilson resets in an 0-2 spot. Knowles looking in for the sign. Shakes off the first, accepts the second, delivers, and it's down the right field line, going foul. Count remains 0-2. Wilson, a native of St. John's, Florida. Those come up about 2 states to play in Tennessee for college, and now an extra one in Kentucky to play for Paducah. 0-2 delivery again from Knowles. Swinging and missing. There's back-to-back Ks. This one to begin the inning, but that throw on the drop third strike goes over Connor Scheidt's head. In the right field, Beatty collects it and will easily throw it in as he'll advance to second. So even though there's a strikeout, There is a runner on and no outs. There will be an error. That one going against Ryan McCartan, the catcher. Sailed it. And Kendrick Dunning is the batter now for the Chiefs. Dunning is a 6'1" righty who's also just recently joined the team. I know we're going to play trivia later, but I'm going to play a fake low trivia with you here in a second. As Knowles looks back towards second and delivers to the plate. First pitch runs inside for ball one. Dunning is a graduate of McCracken County High School. Can you guess what school he's committed to? Well, if you're here on Friday, you would have heard me say the phrase that McCracken County High School seems to be a feeder for John A. Logan. That's where he's committed. Next pitch, outside, missing the corner, 2-0 count. Everyone that we see from McCracken County this year is committed to John A. Logan, and that's what they say about the school. If you go there, you pretty much automatically, seemingly, get an offer from John A. Logan. Ready now is Knowles looks back a third time towards second, then sidesteps toward the plate and misses again, 3-0 the count. Dunning was a highly anticipated join to this team, was a star for McCracken County. And trying to translate here, he's had a 300 batting average in his first few appearances, and the 3-0, Al missed outside for a 4-pitch walk. First two guys get on. That brings up Jackson Supsky. And now you're going to wonder how Knowles does with runners on behind him. As he was pitching well through the first four, and then, well, obviously, Wilson got on the second base after an errant throw down the first on a drop third strike. And that just completely threw them out of whack. Supsky, now 5'9", the right-handed box, is a freshman at Wabash Valley. Didn't record any stats this past spring. 2 on and no outs. He'll square around the bunt, and it's right in front of the plate. McCartan picks it up, throws it down the first where the second baseman Hampton is covering, and has caught it for out number 1. 2 in scoring position, and 1 away. So both runners advance. Good call there to get the runner out at first. Didn't have a chance anywhere else as Wilson and Dunning were already on the move and pretty much into the bag before it was picked up. So 2-4 ground out, and the center fielder Jack Robinson appears at the plate. Robinson's been a staple for this team, playing against the Hoppers pretty sure every single game we faced them so far. First pitch comes in, and it's letter high for strike 1. Robinson currently has a .222 batting average, has recorded only 3 RBIs and a team high 12 runs, weirdly enough. Helps that he's got a .411 on base percentage, almost double his batting average as the 0-1 comes in and runs off the plate for ball 1. That's about double the batting average because he's got 13 walks and 5 hit-by pitches. Ready again for the righty-righty matchup. Knowles, leg kick, fires to the plate, and this one lifted over on the right side, out of play for strike 2. If fair, it would have been about level with Easton Beatty where he's playing straight up and about normal distance for the Hoppers. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Knowles still working from the stretch and now accepts a sign from McCartan. Ready now as he delivers the pitch and goes with a curveball that misses down and away. County evens 2-2. On deck is Landon Gilbert, and then it'll be the 9th spot in the hole before we see the top of the order for the second time this evening. Knowles now readying and fires the 2-2. That one's right at the knees for a called strike 3. Knowles already has 3 strikeouts on the day. Gets him looking, and now Landon Gilbert is the batter. So Gilbert with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. He's a 6'2 lefty. Reigns from Metropolis, Illinois, and played this past year at Rend Lake Community College. His teammates there with the Hoppers, Gavin Powell, who might be a possibility out of the pen today. Umpire calls time as Knowles was getting set before Gilbert was in the box, so everyone gets a moment to take a breath as now the ball is put in play and Knowles is set. Leg kicks for the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's in there for a called strike. Look down to Wilson on third base, and every time Knowles gives that big leg kick, he is running about halfway down the baseline. No balls, one strike. Knowles now comes back to the plate and misses high and away. McCartan gave a quick look down the third. Pump faked. Count 1-1. Wilson did not get as far down that time and retreated quickly as soon as he saw McCartan pop up. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 in scoring position. A 1-0 lead for the Hoppers. Pitch comes in and runs inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count as Gilbert is yet to record an RBI so far this year. And if he grabs a hit in the gap here, he'd probably bring in 2 and give the Chiefs the lead. Knowles set again. Now fires the 2-1. And that one is backwards for strike 2. Count evens as Knowles looks for already his 4th strikeout. Which how insane would that be? If Carson Knowles puts 4 batters away this quickly. He looks in and shakes off a couple of signs. Now a third and is ready for the pitch. Knowles fires to the plate with deuces loaded. That one ripped out towards right field. Beatty will corral it for out number 3. A scare behind him on the base pads, but nothing comes across. Hoppers still lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the third, which means it's time for a third inning with the Hoppers. Expect to hear from Evan Jacob when we return. Back now at the top of the third. Third inning with the Hoppers will be slightly delayed as Evan Jacobs still making his way up. I looked down after we went to break and saw he was helping out in the bullpen catch Gavin Powell, who's getting loose over there. He's currently walking up to the box, but we got to get started as it'll be 2, 3, 4 due up for the Hoppers, beginning with Zach Hampson, and then Evan Leonard and Connor Scheidt is in the hole. Pund is still the pitcher as we now see the first pitch of the at-bat. Outside corner for a called strike. Hampton is he reached his only at bat with a walk. And now the 0-1 comes in, misses low and away. 1-1 the count is Evan Jacobs now getting into the booth from his work in the bullpen. We'll plug him in and hear him here in a second. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1 the count. Got your headset right there.
All right.
And should be all good. Evan, thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You?
All good up here. 2-1 pitch, called strike. I was just saying that as soon as we went to break, I looked down and I went, oh, that was bad timing. You're helping out in the bullpen with Powell over there. But 2-2 comes in, and Hampton ground ball left side is foul. Well, Jacob, let's now talk about a little bit of stuff with you and begin our third inning with the Hoppers segment. So I want to point out some stuff that we've brought up on the broadcast before. You've had a really good high school career and translated pretty quickly over college. You were the U.S. Sports University MVP as a freshman. How did things translate for you so quickly in your college career?
I just kept the same mindset, really. I was just trying to, no matter what I did, no matter what you do, your work determines mostly how you put out in the game. And the one thing you can control is being a great teammate. That's one thing, is just put my work in. My work ethic has always been there. Just do that and be a great teammate. Try and help my teammate and my team out as much as possible. Listen to my coach as much as I can. Take what I can get from everybody. I was lucky to have a great hitting coach throughout my high school career. And when I got to college, my freshman year, he's not there anymore, but Bobby Simpson, he was hands down awesome. And it was just great to me and the players there. And he's helped me out a lot. I'm not going to take all credit. My hitting coaches have made me, as a hitter, who I am today. And I'm grateful to be able to put forth of all the things that they taught me and help out others and myself to this day. Because hitting's not easy. It's not. Baseball's not easy either, but my hitting coaches, man, they brought me a long way.
Yeah, that's the other thing what we've told the story with here on the broadcast, kind of your mentality with each game, but also coming up to the plate. If you want to talk about kind of your mentality of how you approach baseball.
My approach to baseball is just the easiest one is just respect the game and respect yourself. It will respect you back for sure. If you stop doing that, it makes it way harder. You got to have love for the game no matter what you do. It's a game of fun. It's a kid's game. We're still playing at 20-something years old, and I'm grateful to be doing that. But at the end of the day, stepping foot in the box, I'm just looking for something to hit, something hard to hit. Sometimes it don't go that way, but that's why it's the baseball game. Fails 7 out of 10 times, you're still doing pretty good.
Exactly. I mean, 3 out of 10, and you're in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
And I know this one might be a little bit of a tougher question as the 0-1 comes in the shite and misses for ball 1. You came out the gate really, really strong. Had a little bit of struggles in a few games and kind of broke out of that slump yesterday. But as you mentioned, baseball's fun. That's the way you approach the game is you keep it light. It's a game.
Yeah.
If you say fun, like you're going to go out there and hit. How do you break out of that slump and make sure that, I keep the game fun even when it's a little bit hard for me?
My biggest thing with that, I would say, is once you take the fun out of it, that's when it becomes a head game. That's when you can't succeed in any way, even if you're doing good. It's just I found because I've had times where I was taking the fun out of it. And it's miserable. It's not a fun game to play when it's like that. And at the end of the day, if you love the game, why do that to yourself? No matter what you do, my dad always told me you can't focus on results. Every coach, my dad, everybody always told me that. Once you start worrying about the results, man, it's just that's it. You're screwed.
Absolutely.
You can't focus on that at all.
Absolutely. You just got to keep reminding yourself this is fun, and that helps you at the plate.
Yeah, you're going to strike out. You're going to have bad at-bats. You just got to try and learn from it, minimize it, and help yourself out at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Connor Scheidt just moved up. That's awesome. Well, now with 2 outs and a runner on second, a 1-0 count with Hartman at the plate, we're going to do a little something where you've gone up and, of course, been really good so far this summer. After each pitch is thrown, I want you to walk through what you would expect in the box next from Pund out on the mound. So it's a 1-0 count. Hartman readies in the right-handed box as the pitch comes in and goes above his head. Scheidt takes off for third.
Big Scheidt's on third.
That's awesome. Never would have thought to see that.
No, that's great, yeah. It's just the perks of a big backstop.
Yeah, I love it. A lot easier here than some of the other fields.
Yes.
All right, so 2-0. Both pitches missed dramatically. Are you kind of sitting red light right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting for something good to hit. Unless if it's off speed, it's got to be hung. Other than that, I'm trying not to swing at any off speed. I'm looking for a fastball I can get a hold of here.
Pretty much kind of picking out a spot.
Yeah. Usually, like in that situation, that was a away pitch. That looked like a little bit off to me.
Yeah.
But no umpire's perfect. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for something really middle away that can drive, especially run on third. That ball was yanked foul. About 420 feet. He just hit the bus. I'm pretty sure.
Dented, the little extra bus that we got going for us today.
Yeah, no more charter bus.
Yeah, we're going to be 2 buses down and have to get a third if that one's like that. All right, 2-2. What are you expecting on this one?
He's probably going to get something away here, all speed away. Oh, he got a fastball, it looked like.
Went through the gap as well, and that brings in the second run. Hartman now with 24 RBIs.
Heck yeah.
Can't complain about that.
No. Little 2-out single right there, RBI single.
All right, now we got McCartan coming up, who struck out but also had that mammoth home run. That was ridiculous.
He didn't even know it was gone, he said.
He didn't know it was gone?
Like
I was hearing everyone else last night say that they were like, that thing was smashed.
Oh, yeah. I as soon as he hit it, I knew it was gone. But, yeah.
I did up in the booth. Apparently the umpire knew it was gone as well.
Yeah, I knew. I mean, I think Ryan was the only one the one who hit it, he didn't know it was.
I mean, fair. Has there been a time where you've already had 4 home runs this summer, had a few throughout the spring? Is there a time that you'll send one over that's everyone else singing a no-doubter, but you were like, I had not a clue?
There was one, not really, I would say maybe once in college, but in high school it happened a couple times.
Fair.
Because I really didn't start hitting home runs like my junior year, kind of. And then my senior year, I hit a couple more, but like, there was one of them. I was probably one of the furthest balls I've hit, and in high school, and I had no idea right off the bat. I was like just rounded first, and I lost it. It's gone. It's a home run.
I mean, fair. I feel like there were situations even that like I've had where I'll hit the ball hard off the bat, and I just won't even look at where it is. I just know it's like final inning. I got to take off, and I'll get back to the dugout, and they'll be like, "Dude, you killed that thing," and I was just like, I just had to go. Like I had to take off.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Tom, I really wish I was like. I don't know, I know if you saw Jared Jones play baseball for LSU. He likes to watch his home runs.
Oh,
he knows if they're 5 feet over or 30 feet over. He knows, and it's kind of crazy. Some people I see like that. I see some dudes try and pimp them. They like watching them. I'm scared, honestly, because like you can barrel one, the wind can be blowing anything. You don't know if it's gonna go over at the end of the day.
I know.
Like that thing can hit the off top of the fence, and you're sitting on first base like an idiot.
Exactly. You pimp it, and then it just doesn't go over it. I remember watching a few teammates do that and just thinking you're going to get chewed out when you get back.
And it's not the fact that it's embarrassing in front of everybody. Like that's – yeah, so I'm big on getting out the box. Sometimes I know I give it a little bat flip or something, but I try and keep it small.
A little fun with it because you got to have a little fun, right?
Oh,
Again, baseball is fun.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's also not even just embarrassing for you. It's also like think about just a single instead of a double.
Yeah, it should be a double. Yeah, you hustle the box. That just kills your momentum as a team as well. I love watching players when we play against school ball. It happens a lot. I'm catching. You'll see a kid hit one, and he think it's gone. I usually know when I'm catching like, if one's gone or not.
Yeah, fair.
I'm like, buddy, that's not going. He's over there sitting on first. Looking like an idiot.
Yeah, I think at that point, do you ever just feel like, oh, yeah, like that's going to be gone? I think you got to start like
edging them on.
Maybe say like, oh, gosh, so he stays there and doesn't go off out of the box and realize, oh, that's dying in the air.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah's doing pretty well on the
mound.
He's
doing great. I love it.
I looked at the lineup and I was like, all right, let's go for it.
Yeah, he's doing good.
I also looked at the options out of the bullpens today. We got the whole laundry list.
We got a lawn. Yeah, we got a couple of them in there. Looks like they're double barreling again down there.
I say Powell's still going. Is that Gabe?
Gabe Eddington, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Gabe's throwing down there as well. It'll be our first time seeing him in action with the Hoppers. He's been coaching a little bit.
Yeah, he has. He coached for the first half when he got back, and he was like he was going to play the second half. So it's cool to have back. Gabe's awesome. For y'all who don't know Gabe on this, he's a great player, great teammate. I'm pretty sure he was Tennessee State Player of the Year out of high school senior year.
So,
he was Mr. Tennessee for baseball. He went to Austin Peay out of high school. Then he redshirted there and transferred to Vol State. I think now he's going to Tribeca. Pretty sure.
And that's a great school.
It is a great school. He's a great player. He's a great kid, great person, man. He's great. Great. He was a little coach for us. He was a great coach for the month we had him in here, and now he's one of our players, teammates.
We continue third inning with the Hoppers in the bottom of the third as Carson Knowles still on the mound. First pitch is a ball, but as we say, baseball is fun. And why don't you take over a little bit of some play-by-play? Let's just have some fun with this inning, right?
Let's see. Carson Knowles.
Let's see what you
pitch.
got.
That's a strike. That's an inside half strike right there. 1-1 count. Going to wind up and delivers the ball outside. We got Matty Cope up the bat. Number 23 is 1 for 4. Was it last time we played him?
Yeah, last time we played him.
It was 1 for 4 with what he has. Just a single.
I got his numbers here. Hold on. This is the awkward way I kind of keep everything organized.
It makes it easy. Okay, yeah. He's from Shawnee Community College. Is that his school stats right there?
So that's his school stats, and then his stats this summer are right below his name.
Okay. He hit 294 at Shawnee this year. He is hitting, what's he hitting this year with the summer? He's hitting 260 out of 50 at-bats, 13 hits, 12 singles, 1 double, and 6 RBIs. He's got 12 base on balls, though. 3 hit by pitches.
Seeing the ball well.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad.
Not swinging at stuff that's 50 feet above your head.
Yeah. 1 stolen base. I don't want to say he's a threat on a base path for us. I I thought that would have nipped the outside right there, but no.
I think that was the one that was called earlier.
Yeah.
That you were like, I thought ran off a little
Yeah.
bit.
He's a little inconsistent. We had him, I think this is the same umpire we had last time we were here. He gave us a little trouble.
That's true.
Start off the bottom of the third here. Would have run on first leadoff walk right here, run on first. Here's a second walk of the evening. Get Andrew Dixon in the box. He's hitting .305 this summer so far. He's from Wabash Valley. Strike one. He had a pretty good year this spring. He hit .390. The freshman. He's 6'3", standing at 6'3", 195 pounds. The ball's ripped to right field. In the gap. Easy double for Andrew Dixon.
Things we don't love to see.
No.
Don't love that one.
No.
I say Wabash, from what I've seen and like with friends that have gone there, kind of feels like a launching pad to move up from that level to a D2, D1. I've seen you guys go straight from there to a D1 school.
Yeah, I got a couple of my buddies. I got a couple buddies at LSU units from back home.
Yeah.
They're on full count rhythm as well, and some are in Henderson, but they actually knocked out Wabash Valley and the Grand Junction this year.
Yeah.
They sent them home a couple games earlier, but
we've talked about on the Henderson and Full Count broadcast that Eunice is really like 8-time national champions.
Yeah, they're stout. That's definitely hands down one of the best JUCOs around. They just got a brand new field as well, brand new complex. It's beautiful.
Is it really? I haven't seen it at all.
It's turf. They got a big jumbotron.
That's nice.
It's crazy, yeah. 0-1. Oh, and it ran in and hit him. It's the first hit by pitch to the evening for Carson Knowles.
Hey, you got out of the situation with 2 on behind him last time.
Yeah, that was great. We were all pumped up for that. That was funny.
I think I could.
Yeah.
I point it out every time, but I think I could point out Hudson Hamilton's voice screaming over everyone.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Huddy.
I could hear everyone, but Huddy, you can kind of hear from up here.
He's always out there being loud.
He's having fun.
Yeah. So we got in the backs here. Trey Dooley. This is where is he playing at? Right field, right fielder. That ball is pulled high and foul.
Nice little long strike. It's better than the one that was all the way to right field.
That was the first at bat of the game.
I don't know if you could see it from where you were, but it would have cleared.
It would have cleared by a couple feet for sure. Now we watched, It was good thing he had some slice on it, and it pulled foul. That's a long strike again, 0-1. He struck out his last time up. It's a ball, a little up and in.
That looks pretty borderline too, honestly.
Yeah. Right
Probably
under the hands.
Yeah.
Got a 1-1 count. See if he can't get on top of this count right here. And we got a double play ball here. We turn it up 2. He's safe at first. They score a run. It's an RBI. Fielder's choice by Trey Dooley.
You're just glad you're at least getting out there, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. No matter, there's another thing about baseball is, I've heard this when I was about 14 years old, but I know it's big in college, is damage control.
Yeah.
Minimize the damage. You're going to get in situations, it's baseball, but you got to be able to minimize them. Make certain plays when you can. Try and not make the bleeding too bad. It's a ball low and outside for the first pitch. Austin Wilson. That's the DH of the day. What did he do his last time up?
He reached on that drop third.
Oh,
strike.
yeah. Low and outside.
Is the plan kind of, I don't know if you know, but to kind of go short innings with everyone
Yeah, it's
today?
a Johnny Holstaff day.
Yeah,
It's
I figured as
yeah.
much.
If Knowles if Knowles would have cleared through this one pretty quickly, the first two he did, they probably would have gave him the fourth and see where that went. But looks like he might be getting a little tired right here. It's 3 in a row. If he can't figure it out, they might. Yeah,
There's Kirby.
There's Coach Kirby right there going to take a visit.
So this could
I think
probably
Gabe,
be his last batter.
Yeah, this might be Gabe's first in relief. I'm pretty sure. He might be getting ready to. Let's see what they do.
Looks like he's warming up a little bit more than.
Yeah,
more vigorously than Powell.
Yeah,
is
Powell is going to be probably after Gabe, and I think Sweeney might be the closer for tonight.
I was seeing that. I was looking at this. It's listed that 6 guys could come in relief today.
Yeah.
Because usually, for those listening that don't know, what Coach Benny does is he'll kind of lay out who can expect to come in and pitch on the lineup card. And, yeah, it's the whole thing tonight.
Yeah, there's a couple of names on there.
You could see the expected players. Like you could see Woody come back in, which, obviously if it's a close game, the 8th and 9th, you'll see him. But you also have to get over guys with, Sweeney and Powell and Scheidt.
I'm with you on that.
I love summer ball sometimes. With you don't have all the pitchers.
Yeah.
You just got to go
so
for
unpredictable, yeah.
It's so
it's
funny.
not to find a diamond in the rough. You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone might realize it can be a 2-way.
Yeah. Get first and third here. 3-0 count. Oh, and he gets a hack at 3-0, and he rips this ball to left field. And Burns, Reed. One run comes across for the relay. He stops at third. It's a stand-up double for Austin Wilson, the DH.
Probably going to do his day as that one ties it right there. Yeah.
3-0 hack, man.
I was scared that one was going to drive a little bit further than it originally did.
Yeah. I think this is going to be it for Carson Knowles right here. You're bringing, Gabe's coming out the pin.
All right, well, Powell comes in. Knowles' day is done, going 2 1/3. We'll have all the info here on Gavin, not on Gavin Powell, but on Gabe here in just a moment.
You got Gabe Eddington on the bump right here. Number 16. This was the former coach for the last month and returning player now. He was just sitting out the first month. He just wanted to be around the guys and the hoppers. He loves it. He played here last year as well. He's mainly an outfielder, but he also plays middle infield a lot, and he does pitch. He pitched throughout high school. I don't think he pitched much in college, but like I said, he started off at Austin Peay freshman year, redshirt, and went to Ball State, JUCO. That's a strike one right there, foul ball. I like it.
Go right after him to come out of the pen. I love it.
Why not?
You're also mentioning that he threw some live ABs a little
bit
bit ago.
Yeah, he did. He did pretty well. He did well. His fastball's got some life to it, especially for his size. He's a twitchy player. He's not the biggest player, but the dude can play for sure. Got a good little all speed with him. He tunnels stuff pretty good. Nothing like that's gonna blow you out the water, but he's a crafty little right-handed pitcher. The 1-1 pitch. Down and in for a ball.
Also seems like a really fun guy to be around. Like my assumption is that he keeps that dugout lively.
Yeah, no, he's one of them for sure. He's also on that end of it. He's like, he's lively in the dugout. He's a great teammate, but he's also very mature. Like he's
yes.
And I know he came in as a coach technically for the first month, and I can make you look at him as a little older, but he's just our age, and he plays the game maturely. He's around the game as immature well. That's a pop up to Dom Hartman right there. With 2 outs. We'll take that.
Yeah, no one moving up on it.
Second and third, 2 outs now. Tied ball game.
I feel like getting out of this one tied feels pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think a double. Scored only 1 run off of that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, Jackson Subsidy, is that how you say that?
Like Supsky.
Supsky, that's what that is. Jackson Supsky up the bat. Swing and miss for strike 1. I got a little cut to it, maybe. That might have been a little movement to it. That was a good little pitch.
He got a little run on it.
Yeah, he swung over that one about 3 balls. It happens. I've been there before. It ain't fun.
We've all been there.
Yeah. It's 0-1. Pitch and deals. That's strike 2.
Love it.
Yeah, middle in right there.
I'm hoping he goes strike 3 here. Give you a punch out
nice,
call.
Yeah. Come set. And the pitch. All right. Little slider right there. Not a bad miss at all, but 0-2. I'm good with that.
Didn't miss by much.
No, I'm surprised he didn't. I mean, I think that's what he threw the first pitch, too. I think he saw it and kind of laid off at that time. But let's see. We got 1-2. He's still up in the count by a lot. See if it goes waste or attacks right here. Comes right at him. That's a line out to second base to Zach Hampton. And we end the inning 2-2. Tie ball game. Not too much damage.
No, you keep it getting out of it tied again, 2-2 as we head to the 4th again. The 3rd inning with the Hoppers with Evan Jacob. Before we head to break, any little shouts you want to give before we head back to the dugout?
To my mom and dad, I love y'all. I know y'all watching. Anybody else that's watching back home, love y'all. Y'all have a great evening watching the Hoppers. Go Hops.
Top of the 4th inning here at historic Brooks Stadium. The Hoptown Hoppers tied 2-2 with the Paducah Chiefs after a couple of scratches across in the bottom of the third. We just had Evan Jacob here on the broadcast for third inning with the Hoppers. He was a really great guest. Happy to have him on. And we'll continue that for our away games here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network as the season progresses. It'll be 7-8-9 due up for the Hoppers after they had 5 come up. No one came across and scored on 1 walk and 1 hit. Reed Hayes leads things off. And it's tying in for ball 1. He started the go-around. No check down. Clearly didn't. Hayes had a ground out to the shortstop, Jackson Stupski, on the first pitch he saw the at-bat. Last time he appeared. As now the 1-0 comes in and is knee-high for strike 1. Pund is still the pitcher on the mound. Battling Reed Hayes. He's now ready from the right side of the rubber. Works through the windup and leg kicks toward the plate. And it's inside, 2-1 the count. And Reed Hayes is playing left field today. And I brought up a little bit about the story with Reed Hayes that will continue here after the next pitch. 2-1 is a ground ball on the left side through the gap on the ground for a leadoff single. Reed Hayes gets on, and that brings up Easton Beatty. Again, let's talk about Reed Hayes a little bit and some of the cool stuff he's done. We'll have another story when his next at-bat is up for him, but mentioned back really early this season, back with Canterbury High School, he helped establish the Cavalier Sports Network, so also has been a little bit in the broadcast world. Easton Beatty up, and first pitch comes in. It's a foul ball on the left side for strike 1. Beatty, his one appearance so far, he got hit by a pitch after seeing a few come his way. He had a hit by pitch on a 1-2 count. And on deck, obviously, Cade Wall before the top of the order due up for the third time. 1 pitch. It's in the dirt with a curveball. Hayes remains at first base, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember, stick with us here, as in the 5th inning, we'll have some Hoptown Hoppers trivia, and, of course, some great Hoppers baseball throughout tonight's broadcast. Reed Hayes takes off for a second as he started leaning. Pitch was in the dirt for a ball. Hayes slides in safely, and the pitch goes right behind the bag, and he's in with a stolen base. Reed Hayes swipes the bag, and for him so far this year, that is stolen base number 3. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, it missed in the dirt. And Beatty has a man in scoring position. Beatty this summer is batting .214 with runners in scoring position. That one's sky high on the left side out of play. So we'll now have an even 2 ball and 2 strike count. And Beatty, a native of Clinton, Tennessee, plays at Vol State Community College. Or did not record any stats this past spring. Has gone 2 for 8 now. 2 for 7 against Paducah. Pitch upstairs, and now he's got a full count. He's got 2 for 7 against Paducah so far this summer. And now leads the team with 5 hit by pitches after his 1 earlier in this game. Full count with a runner on second and no outs here on the top of the 4th. Pitch comes in. Ground ball on the left side is scooped up by Stupski, and he'll have no throw as no one was covering third, and Hayes took off. Some huge IQ base running from Hayes. Runners on the corners with an out. Should be no outs. It is. And Beatty's on technically with a fielder's choice. You gotta love Reed Hayes moving up there because both the shortstop, Stupski, and the third baseman, Lander Gilbert, were going after that ball. So that pulls Gilbert off third. Reed Hayes holds up a minute because the ball's in front of him, then looks there and sees no one's covering. I can go and get there easily without a throw. And that's exactly what happened. Next pitch inside corner on an off speed for strike 1. And Cade Wall is behind the count to get his second at-bat started. He reached on a walk. And that was the second and last batter we faced before Brennan Gibson, who stands on deck, popped out in foul territory. 0-1 pitch. Gibson down Wall down the left field line, and that one's foul, excuse me, for that horrific mess up. Now the count, no balls and 2 strikes with runners still in the corners and no one out. Tied 2-2 after the Chiefs just plated a couple of runs in the bottom of the third. And the Hoppers look to already take that lead right back. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch comes down to the plate. Misses in the opposite batter's box. And Beatty takes off for a second. He reaches safely with a stolen base. And the count is 1-2. Already 3 stolen bases this game for your Hoppers. And Wall's still alive. Now with 2 in scoring position and no outs. Pitch to the plate. And Wall foul over on the right side in foul territory. And it will land for a strike. We'll say 1-2. Pun's still out there delivering for the Chiefs. No action in their bullpen currently. They're trying to let him ride this one out a good amount. He's now ready to continue the righty-on-righty matchup. Now set on the stretch as he accepts the sign. From the belt to the plate, and Wall will tip it down in the dirt to stay alive and walk the ball out from the home plate umpire as that one hurt and caught Kendrick Dunning a little awkwardly. And we'll put it that way, and if you're catching my drift whatsoever. Not sure exactly where it hit off, but it looked like it. And that's how I'm going to say it. Well, Dunning walks off a little bit and looks to be all good. And Wall's now back in the box. Now set again as Pun looks in for his 78th pitch of the day. Comes to the plate, and it's rung up on the outside corner for strike 3. One away with the first strikeout looking against the Hoppers. That brings up Brennan Gibson with the top of the order for the third time today. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a pop out to the third baseman in foul territory. That's the first time that Gibson has not reached in a Hoppers uniform so far this summer. Pitch to the plate, and it's a curveball inside for strike 1. And Gibson started out perfect yesterday in his Hoppers debut. Plays at Freed Hardman with the Lions. The 0-1 comes in, misses in the opposite batter's box, and the count evens 1-1. And at Freed Hardman this past year, he had a terrific season. In 169 at-bats, he was able to collect a .385 batting average and a .488 on base percentage, which ended up resulting in the Mid-South Conference Freshman of the Year award rewarded to him. Pitch on the outside corner, called a strike. Gibson thought about it, held up. It didn't matter. On top of Freshman of the Year, he was first team All Mid-South Conference and also continues to do well from his high school days. Ropes went out towards center field, and that's going to land quickly for at least a single. They're going to bring one across and hold up Beatty at third. It's an RBI single for Gibson as the Hoppers retake the lead. 3-2 in favor of Hoptown with runners on the corners and still 1 out. Gibson now records his 3rd RBI already of the summer, and Zach Hampton follows him up now at the plate. Hampton's reached both times via the free pass with a walk. Already in the right-handed box. First pitch to the plate is right down the middle for strike 1. Gibson's showing off the speed already. He's got 3 stolen bases on the season, including one of those being earlier in this game after he got on with a single in the first inning and would come around to score. Pickoff move over the first, and Gibson's back in safely. Beatty remains at third. Count still 0-1 with Evan Leonard, the DH, on deck. This Pun now set from the right side of the rubber. He'll leg kick and go to the plate as Gibson takes off for second. Pitch gets underneath Dunning's legs, goes to the backstop, flip the punt as he comes to the plate, and Beatty slides in underneath it safely for the 4th run for the Hoppers. Gibson also reaches on a stolen base, and the Hoppers have doubled the home Chiefs score. Count evens 1-1 for Hampton. Beatty technically doesn't get a stolen base. He'll reach on a pass ball as it got under the legs of Dunning. With an even count pitch and still a man in scoring position, Hampton awaits and now grounds one up towards the middle. Supsky will sort the glove it. It gets off his glove and throws over the first, a little delayed, and that was enough time for Hampton to recover and reach safely. Hampton gets on. We'll wait for the official ruling. That should go down, I believe, as an error against Supsky, the shortstop, as now the coach will come out for the Chiefs. Nothing too official yet. It looks like they're going to give him a hit for that, actually, which I don't mind. That was a hard play for Supsky up the middle. Just thought they weren't going to give him the benefit at the plate. I love it as a Hoppers fan. Hampton's on with a single, 2 on the base pads for Evan Leonard. As we still have that meeting on the mound, walking out there is pitching coach Kent Wallace, who has done some really cool, incredible things. Has helped out with guys who pitch at the major league level. Even helped out with our guy Ace West, who is the son of course, Hoppers GM Adam West. Ace is serving as kind of the bat boy for a lot of the Hoppers games, including all home games. Good majority of the away games as well. Now back to action as the meeting is adjourned. Runners on first and second, 1 out, and a 4-2 lead for your Hoppers. Looking to tack on a few more. Evan Leonard is at the plate. First pitch he sees high and in for ball 1. Runners remain where they're at. Leonard 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. It was an RBI single on that. That brought in Gibson for the first run. And now pitch misses. It's a 2-0 count. Gibson's the man that stands on second, and Hampton stands on first. 2-0 delivery, and that also misses downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. To begin for Evan Leonard, they've got Connor Scheidt standing on deck, and could this inning go crazy if he were to come up with bases loaded? 3-0 pitch, and that's a called strike on the corner. Borderline, as Leonard held up. It's still called. Now the 3-1 pitch as Leonard swings at it. Ground ball over on the right side. Second baseman picks it up, flips toward second, and will get it there in time for the fielder's choice. Leonard's on, and runners are on the corners with a pair of outs. The second time that Leonard has reached today. Hampton's out on his way to second, and Gibson moves into third. Connor Scheidt, the cleanup batter, now up in the left-handed box. He is 0 for 2. Though he reached last time with a fielder's choice, he moved to second and third on a pair of wild pitches. So without a ball putting in play, he was 90 feet away and came around and scored off an RBI single from Dom Hartman. Pitch upstairs, and that is ball 1. Scheidt's a guy who, again, has a lot of power. Is yet to record a hit against Paducah this summer. He was here last summer as well, though, with the Hoppers. It's a 1-0 way outside, 2-0. Definitely have a stronger start right now. Hoppers finished last year 16-21. They won the quote-unquote wild card game of the playoffs. Ironically against the Henders Flash, and then lost in 2 games, were swept by the Full Count Rhythm, who went on to win the championship. Pitch called strike on the outside corner, and now it's a 2-1 after the fastball. Scheidt is batting .455 with runners in scoring position. And now the 2-1 comes in. Scheidt tries to unload on it, just gets a piece of it as he's swung underneath it. Wow. And that one's tipped back, or it's 2-2 the count. The word kind of to me feels like you're sitting there and you ask your English teacher, is it drank or drunk, depending on the situation? No one has a good answer ever, it feels like, even though there is one, but whatever. I'm just talking some weird stuff. Deuce is wild. The pitch comes to the plate. Scheidt, a little pop-up over on the left side of the infield. And the third baseman, Landon Gilbert's underneath it for the third out. Hoppers plate 2 and take the lead. They lead 4-2 over the Paducah Chiefs as we head to the bottom half of the fourth here at Brooks Stadium. Back for the bottom of the fourth here in Paducah, Kentucky. Hoppers lead 4-2. Let's take a look at some other scores around the Ohio Valley League. Henderson Flasher on the road taking on the Madisonville Miners, and Hopper fans, perk up your ears. You're going to love this score. The Miners lead 6-1 over the Flash in the fourth inning. Hopefully the Miners hold on to that one. And the Railroaders are on the road taking on the Full Count Rhythm. They're still scoreless, but big reason that you want the Flash to lose is, well, they took first place last night after beating the Hoppers, as they now sit in second. If the Hoppers were to win and the Flash were to lose, well, your Hoppers are back in first. First pitch is a fastball down the pipe for strike one from Gabe. And there's an 0-1 count to begin for Robinson as we see 7-8-9 due up. Hoppers have been playing most of the season in first place, and it's been a while since they haven't been there, so they succumb to second and are fighting to get back into that spot today. 0-1 pitch. Just misses the corner on a slider. The count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddington looks in and he readies now from the right side of the rubber. Leg kick comes to the plate, and this one driven out towards right center field is going to find some grass and land in as Robinson rounds first and goes for second, and he'll get in with a stand-up leadoff double. Man in scoring position. Now the tying run at the plate for the Chiefs. That brings up Landon Gilbert, the third baseman, who had a line out to Easton Beatty in right field, his only at-bat so far today. Now Gilbert is like a lot of his other teammates here with the Chiefs, a recent graduate from Bowling Green, Kentucky, stands 5'10" in the left-handed box. He's a middle infielder usually, but of course playing the hot corner today. Eddington looks in. His sun is starting to shine out of nowhere. Clouds are unveiling. And this first pitch is popped up near Ryan McCartan by the plate, and he backs up to catch it for out number 1. That means that Robinson remains on second with 1 away. Good track from McCartan to throw off the helmet, and had to backpedal a little last second to get it. But only matters that he caught it, and 1 is out for Maddox Cope, the new batter. Cope is batting .260 so far this year. We heard it from Evan Jacob back in third inning with the Hoppers. He is a freshman, plays at Shawnee Community College. We're at a .294 batting average this spring, at a .260 so far this summer. First pitch from Eddington, and it's down the middle for a strike. Well, it's been a very cloudy day overall. The rain came through here earlier, but should be clear the rest of the game. And for the first time, I believe, all day, the clouds have started to open up, and you see that sun shining in center field. As the 0-1 comes in, it's lifted shallow right field. Good chase from Beatty near the line, and it lands foul about 3 steps away from Beatty. He was just behind on it. So it lands for strike 2. But if you go back to last night, that sun was evil, especially to Dom Hartman at third, who's back there today. It resulted in a pair of errors for him, but, I mean, I'm not even sure if he could see the baseball from where he was, so I really don't blame him, because it was only him at third base where that sun was pretty much straight in his eyes, and he was having rockets hit towards him. And it kind of proved that that was the case an inning later when the sun went behind a cloud, and he had a ball hit even harder to him, and he played it and made it look easy. Pitch is fouled backwards off the face mask of McCartan, and the count is still 0-2. And just as I start to explain the sun situation, it goes back behind a cloud. If it opens up again, though, right now it would be Brennan Gibson mostly in center field who would have to battle it off. It's over on the right side for him from our perspective behind the plate, the left side. So it wouldn't be awful, but if he has to run over one on his right shoulder, he'll have to shield it. And hopefully wouldn't cause too much drama out there as it's drenching him in center. And that cloud is open. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball over on the left side. Dom Hartman gets underneath his glove as he popped up too early. Reed Hayes was charging in, though, and will field it and bring it back to the shortstop, Cade Wall. There's an error for Hartman with runners now in the corners and still 1 out. That brings up the top of the order after the E5, and Robinson advanced after it went between his legs. Hartman was right there for it on the edge of the grass, and instead of watching to the back of his Glove popped up just a hair too early, and it scooted by him. So now Eddington will have to recover against Andrew Dixon to try to get out of this inning unscathed and still with a 2-run lead. Good look at a double play ball right now, though, with a runner on first base. Dixon up for the third time today. His first pitch outside with the fastball for ball 1. Righty on lefty matchup as Dixon in the box is 1 for 2. He had a double his last time up in the third and came all the way around and scored. That was a score off of fielder's choice that resulted in an RBI from Trey Dooley, who stands in the hole. Outside corner of the fastball, and there's a called strike, and the count evens. Dixon at one point led this team with batting average. It's kind of dropped recently. Still has the best slugging percentage, though, with a .508. A team leading 17 RBIs as well. Would love to tack one on here and cut down the deficit. Off speed, misses the corner, and now it's 2-1. Dixon's ahead against Eddington. Dixon stands 6'3" in the left-handed box. Reigns from Lexington, Kentucky. And now waits the next pitch. Eddington fires towards the plate. Goes with an off-speed that's sawed off to the left side, out of play. And now the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Brett Haas. I'd love to see him up with either 2 outs or maybe next inning if you get a ground ball here up the middle and you can twist it. Remember, when we return, we'll have some trivia for you. You'll want to stick around for that. And, of course, looking if the Hoppers can get back in the win column after last night's loss. Eddington looks back towards first a couple of times before coming to the plate. Fastball, he tried outside and missed. Count runs full. Remember, he gets on here. You're facing the heart of the Chiefs' order. In a really difficult spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. 4-2 is the score in favor of the Hoppers. Pitch comes in and misses, and there's a walk. Bases are loaded for the home team. That brings up the first baseman, Brett Haas. Haas is 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at-bat to the shortstop, Cade Wall. Last time up, he got on with a hit-by pitch. And he went 3 for 4 on Friday here against the Hoppers. So he's doing well against the squad. He's doing well in the season overall as well. Has a .359 batting average and a team-high .506 on-base percentage. He's recorded 11 RBIs and a chance to scratch a few across here to tie things up. Eddington in the righty-righty matchup. First pitch at the knees for strike 1. Really good delivery from him. He's going right after the batters, which you want to see from a pitcher in general, but especially someone coming out of the pen. I know today is kind of that bullpen game. You're going to see a lot of different pitchers, but even if it wasn't, you want to see him go right after people. He'll lift one sky high in the left field. Reed Hayes is right underneath it and will catch it for the second out. Throws it in quickly. Dom Hartman cuts it off and will not throw it home as the runner already crossed. Robinson scores, and it's 4-3 after the sac fly. So the Chiefs cut into the deficit. They only trail by 1 now. And with runners on first and second and 2 outs in the inning, that brings up Trey Dooley, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And he reached on a fielder's choice last time. Brought in an RBI and ended up tying the game 2-2. Or ended up making it 2-1, excuse me. There was a man on deck, Austin Wilson, who brought in the second run. Swing and miss from Dooley on the first one. And he's behind 0-1. Dooley spent the past year at Rice. And if you're not familiar, if you haven't heard in the other broadcast, was injured. So he went 15 months without playing. Has now recommitted. Will be playing at Southern Illinois next year after they came and watched him as a two-way. He's not just a fielder. He also pitches, which we saw last time. Pitch in the dirt with a curveball, evens the count 1-1. I like the idea from Eddington to go back to the curveball after he caught Dooley way ahead on the pitch. It just ended up spiking it. So you could see him probably go back to that fastball and try the curveball afterwards if he goes ahead 1-2. Not a bad idea with Dooley. You just can't hang it on him. Got to keep it low, otherwise he'll drive it far. The 1-1 delivery, and that just misses the inside. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Didn't run off the plate by much, and Eddington respectfully asks if it was more high or in, because it did have a little loop on it at the curve. And just wanted to clarify what he can do to adjust for the next pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs and 2-1. Eddington fires at the plate, goes back to that curveball, and gets him swinging at one at the bottom of the well for strike 2. He had him chasing one way outside, and that is a pitch you know that Dooley could look like a full-on the rest of the game. Dooley's back now in the right-handed box as Eddington now set. The 2-2 pitch from the belt. He fires, and it's rung up on the inside. He zings it past him for a strikeout looking, and that ends the bottom of the 4th. Chiefs cross 1, but they still trail. It's 4-3. As we head to the 5th, when we return, we'll have our Hoptown Hoppers trivia question of the day. Back now for the 5th inning, and with that, we bring you your Hoptown Hoppers trivia question of the day. How this works, if you haven't played with us before, I'll ask you a question, and since you're watching this on YouTube, you can reply with your answer in the YouTube chat. Answers will be A, B, C, or D. We'll give you a multiple choice, and we'll give you the final official answer in the bottom of the 5th inning, so you have time to think about it. Here's your question of the day. So, you know how I've been saying that this Hoppers team loves to score in the latter portion of each game? Well, with this question, we put it to the test. Entering this game, Hoptown has recorded 137 total runs this summer. How many of those have been in the 5th inning or later? Is it A, 60, B, 65, 70, which is answer C, or D, 75? The question again for you. Out of 137 total runs, how many have been scored in the 5th inning or later? Is it 60 runs, 65, 70, or 75? We'll give you the final answer in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll also ask you the question again when we end the top of the 5th. Let's focus our attention back to the field of play. Dom Hartman will lead things off in the top of the 5th as we'll see 5, 6, 7 due up. And it looks like a new pitcher on the mound. Ball 1 downstairs, I believe, from Hanover College this is. That's number 19, Nathan Bodenberg, who we've seen a few times. Long look in. And now finally ready. From the right side of the rubber, he'll throw the 1-0 pitch. And it's called a strike on the corner. 1-1 now the count. I'll bring you some of Bodenberg's numbers here after the next pitch. As it comes in and misses the corner, not by much. It was pretty much the same spot as last time. Can't get the call there, though. 2-1 the count. Bodenberg's thrown against Hoptown twice. He's on 3 total innings against the Hoppers, where in total he has allowed no runs. Swing and miss from Hartman, and that evens the count 2-2. On the season, he's got a 1.95 ERA, giving up 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 17 hits, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. So Bodenberg's been a strong spot from the Panthers of Hanover for the Chiefs this summer. 2-2 from the leadoff man, Hartman, as a pitch comes back in and misses downstairs and gets away from Dunning for ball 3. Bodenberg is a sophomore over at Hanover. Stands 5'10" as a righty. Is from Westfield, Indiana. So a reset now on the outside portion of the box. And Hartman is now ready again. He'll unload on a baseball that fouls out of play, and we'll do the 3-2 over again. Hartman extended his now 5-game hit streak earlier with a single in the 3rd inning. Looking to tack on a couple more. Pitch downstairs. He'll take the walk. Extends it from 5 games to now 6 games is where he's at with the single. As it's pretty quiet. These Paducah fans not very satisfied with what's been happening. So now Brian McCartan comes up. They'll follow up the walk with an 0-2 start to his day. It was a strikeout and a fly out to right field. As Bodenberg on the right side of the rubber looks over the first and now set. Will fire towards the plate. And this one deep left field, going back towards the wall in back-to-back nights. No, it's not enough. It's caught on the warning track, and Hartman retreats back to first. He was about 3 feet, maybe even 2 feet away from back-to-back nights with a home run to left field. Instead, now there's one away in the inning, and Reed Hayes is the batter. Oh, that would have been great. That was Hartman and McCartan's first home run last night. Could have tacked on a few more. So Hoppers are in need of some insurance again. Reed Hayes, the batter, and the first pitch runs outside of the slider for ball 1. Reed Hayes, the native of Roanoke, Indiana, where he attended Fort Wayne, Canterbury. As he awaits the next pitch, Bodenberg set on the mound. And from the belt, he fires. Runner takes. No, he does not. He holds up. Good secondary, and it's a called strike 1-1. Reed Hayes is a really fun guy from the stuff he's done outside of baseball. Well, outside of playing baseball, he's always been around the sport and looks to stick with it well after he's done playing. The 1-1, it's a called strike of the knees, 1-2 the count. Graduating at Canterbury during his senior year and continued it during the summer before he went to college, he actually interned with the High A affiliate of the San Diego Padres, the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. They play in the Midwest League. And the first thing you have to know is look up their stadium. It is way better than just a high A stadium. Pitch, and it's at the bottom of the knees for a called strike. That rings up Reed Hayes as we finish the story about him. So first of all, look up the stadium. It is a gorgeous minor league park that could be recognized as a AA, maybe even a AAA park, to be quite frankly honest with you. But there with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, he entered mostly with a promotional team where he helped out with their games they would play on the field in between innings, but he said that he also got to do a lot of other stuff, which was really cool. He got to help out, some with the marketing team and sales and even with the club president as well. Beatty's the batter right now as the pitch comes in, and it misses downstairs for a ball. So we had to help out with so many different things, and he said it was such a cool experience. The hours were fun. It was great baseball, and you get some fun little gifts in there as well. He mentioned that while the Padres were wearing their old City Connects that were kind of the neon colors, as Beatty swings through one, even as the count 1-1, it was that green sleeve, the pink sleeve, and had that little pink and green lettering across it. He ended up getting one of those City Connect jerseys for free as a gift from the team for working with them, and he's gotten lucky with a few of those as well. He said he went to Great American Ballpark and got the Red City Connect at one point as Beatty lifts one into left field, dropping quickly and rams in front of Dixon. Hartman comes around second and slides into third, and that gets past the third baseman. Back up there is Bodenberg, and Beatty goes into second. Two are in scoring position. So a reach on a single, advances on the throw. And again, still with Reed Hayes, this is so fun to talk about, honestly. He got a City Connect as well when he went to Great American Ballpark. They were giving those away. It was the old black City Connects. He also mentioned that he's a Braves fan. He grew up a fan of that Atlanta squad and ended up getting an Atlanta City Connect as well. So he's kind of collecting the City Connects as he goes, how he mentioned it to me. But also in part of his internship with the Fort Wayne Sin Caps, it was fun because at one point he got to see some behind the scenes of how minor league baseball impacts these players. So if you guys remember a season ago when Mason Miller was traded from the, at the time kind of, not really, Oakland Athletics. They truly went away from the name this year. But just the Athletics, I guess now. Mason Miller was traded from there to the San Diego Padres at the deadline. As the first pitch comes in, it's a Cade Wall. He'll foul it off himself for strike one, 2 outs and 2 on. And with that, they traded away, the Padres did, some of their top prospects, including a couple guys, one being Leo DeVries, with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. And he was in the clubhouse at the time as the next pitch off speed, called a strike. He was in the clubhouse when he said, yeah, all of a sudden, one dude came up to them, and I was just standing right next to him and said, hey, they want to see you back in the office. They look down their phone, and sure enough, you see them all get traded, and they're off on their way. Swings on the outside pitch, and then he'll do it for the top of the fifth inning. 2 in scoring position, but nothing more comes across. It's still a 1-run lead as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Again, let's ask you that trivia question of the day. Remember, the Hoppers have now scored 137 total runs this summer. How many of those have been scored in the fifth inning or later? Is it A, 60 runs, B, 65 runs, C, 70 runs, or D, 75 runs? Give us your answer here on the YouTube chat, and we'll tell you if you're right when we return here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Back for the bottom of the fifth inning. Let's give you the answer to the trivia question of the day. At 137 runs, how many have come in the fifth inning or later? We'll try to give you a 50-50 shot because 2 of those answers were less than 50% of the runs on the season. And what have I said? You got to trust me. And it has been more than 50% of the runs they've scored this year have come in the latter portion of the game. One person answered in the chat with D, and they would be correct. It's 75 of those runs coming into the game have been in the fifth or later. That makes up for 54.7% of the runs all season long. So now we're back for the bottom of the fifth inning. There's your answer. You play along with us again for our next away game, which will be on Thursday, June 25th, over at Henderson. Next game, though, will be on Wednesday at home against Fulton. You'll find us at 6:30 p.m. on right here on the YouTube channel on 95.3 The Farm. Pitch downstairs for a ball. Begins the at-bat. It's an off day tomorrow. That's why I skipped over Tuesday. And love going to that portion of the season with an off day with a win under your belt and possibly being back in first place. 1-0 pitch misses outside, and 2-0 is the count. At the plate for the Paducah Chiefs, they have Austin Wilson, the cleanup batter, and DH, who is 1 for 2. He's reached both times, once on a double and once on a drop third strikeout. 2-0 pitch, and this one popped up on the right side in foul territory, chasing and runs out of room as it lands in the Hoppers' bullpen and out of play. So 2-1 is the count. Eddington's still your pitcher. So far for the Hoppers, he's just given up one hit, one walk, and one strikeout. It's no runs. Excuse me. Tried getting in the flow of just saying runs first before stuff, and not what happened there. The 2-1 from Eddington, right down the middle, and is sky high. Home run in a corn silo in foul territory, and Ryan McCartan catches it right up next to the wall for out number 1. Track that one, especially with the net almost blocking your view. There's one away. And Kendrick Dunning, the catcher, is now the batter. Dunning, so far on the day, is 0 for 1 with a pop out to the third baseman, Dom Hartman. He reached his first time up with a walk. Now it's back in the second inning. He went all the way around the second, and no one came across the score then. So now for the righty-righty matchup, Eddington sets in leg kick, fires. It's a curveball in the middle of the zone for a called strike. Dunning, a 6'1" righty. Mostly plays the middle infield and third base with McCracken County. Catcher, though, here with the Chiefs. As the 0-1 comes in, curveball, and it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Committed to play with John A. Logan next year. Has recorded 3 hits, 2 of them singles, 1 of them a double coming into this contest. The 1-1 pitch goes back to the curveball, and it runs inside for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the count. As Eddington looks back in for the sign from his battery, Ryan McCartan. He shakes off a couple before getting set and continuing to work from the stretch. The 1-2. And he'll go to the bottom of the well and outside. Runs off the plate. Count evens 2-2. Tried the curveball again. I like the idea. As Dunning's not really been able to go after it. Just didn't work that time. Leg kick as a 2-2 comes in. Ground ball over on the left side. Cade Wall almost overran it. Scoops it up and throws it the first in time to put 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Cade Wall's made some good plays over there today. He's looking sharp in the captain position in the infield. And with that, we will see Jackson Supsky, the shortstop, ironically enough, as the batter for Paducah. He's 0 for 2. Last time up, he had a line out to Zach Campton, the second baseman. He climbed the ladder for that one. His first time up, though, was a little bunt. And he grounded out as McCartan, the catcher, threw it over to Zach Hampton, the second baseman, who was covering first on the bunt coverage. First pitch of the at-bat. Ran away inside, tried the backside curveball, and missed for ball 1. No one on the bases and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Your Hoppers lead 4-3 over the Paducah Chiefs. As the pitch now to the plate. That one runs inside on the corner. And that one is called a strike. Count evens 1-1. Hoppers sit in first place with in second place. I'm so used to first. Second place now with a 13-5 record after losing last night. And the Paducah Chiefs technically sit in fourth, but are kind of tied for third with a 9-9 record, tied to the same record with the full count rhythm. He'll swing through the next pitch, and now he's behind 1-2 against Eddington. Supsky will take a quick moment as he was way in front of that pitch. 5'9" righty from Shepherdsville, Kentucky, now back in the box. Spins the bat around a few times and now awaits the pitch from Eddington. With 2 outs away already, the 1-2 pitch, and he'll foul it backwards into the backstop's netting and stay alive. There's some work in the bullpen. It's Gavin Powell that's warming up, as this could be the last inning for Eddington. He's thrown 41 pitches and now looks in to decide what his 42nd pitch could be. Now sets and is ready. Loads up and fires the 1-2. Curveball in the dirt. And the count evens 2 apiece. On deck for the Chiefs is Jack Robinson, the center fielder, who does have a hit. It was a double his last time up. Trying to go 3 up, 3 down for the second time today. The first time it happened was all the way back in the first inning from the starter, Carson Knowles. Hoppers haven't gotten it since. Dave Eddington now readies. And loads again. His leg kick towards the plate. And it's a fastball that is just below the knees by maybe half an inch. And the count is 3-2. I think Eddington and everyone else in that Hoppers field was ready to walk off after seeing the umpire ring him up. Instead, he'll leave him in the box with a full count. No one on and 2 outs away in the bottom of the 5th. 4-3 lead for the Hoppers. Eddington fires from the belt and gets him swinging missing to retire the Chiefs in order for the second time today. Hoppers lead 4-3 as we end the 5th. We'll be right back with the 6th inning here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Don't go anywhere. We have a short break and more Hoppers baseball to follow. Now back on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network with the 6th inning of work. Hoppers lead 4-3 over the Paducah Chiefs at Brooks Stadium. Hello, everyone. Colin Critters with today's action on the road here in Paducah. Head coach for the Hoppers, Chris Benny, in his second true season with the team. First one with some time to prep for, though. He entered last season as the head coach without too much time to prepare and not really recruiting the players. This season is his first true year with his own pure team, and well, they've came out on fire. Benny's been loving what his team's been able to do, and not only have they performed well, they get along very well. They click well, and Benny makes sure that they are all having a good time and just enjoying the summer while they also go out and win. First pitch of the inning is a called strike at the plate for the Hoppers. Is Brennan Gibson at the top of the order. It's 1-2-3 due up. Do see some dark clouds in center, but still not expected any rain, apparently. He'll swing to the next pitch, and he's 0-2. Benny not only just does well with keeping them together, he'll also put out a lot of signs and info before games like, hey, here's what we can expect from their starting pitcher and how to hit well against them. The 0-2, Gibson swings through it, and that's his first strikeout of the summer. So you go in there and see some stuff on the lineup card. And it's usually the scouting report that him and his assistants, Bobby Irving and Max Kirby, put together so that the Hoppers can come out firing on all cylinders at the plate. And it pays off well. That's why the Hoppers have done so strong at the plate. Every time you come out to watch in the Tiger Field and heard them here on the radio, they've usually had a very successful offensive game. First pitch now, the second guy in the order, Zach Hampton, misses at the bottom of the well for ball 1. Hampton is 1 for 1 with a single his last time up. He also reached his other previous 2 times with a pair of walks. 1-0 pitch, and that one's a strike at the knees. Hampton's a two-way guy from Corpus Christi, Texas. Plays with UMHB, Mary Hardin Baylor. Also down there in Belton, Texas. The 1-1, and that's at the knees for a called strike. 1-2 is the count. Now the Crew, a D3 school in the American Southwest Conference. They went 25-18 this past year. Played 3 games in their conference tournament. Won the first one against Hardin Simmons, and then would lose their second game and their third one, ironically enough, to Hardin Simmons to be eliminated from the tournament. Played at Veterans Memorial High School, and now Reddy's up here in the box with a 1-2 count and 1 away in the inning. Bodenberg delivers. He's still the pitcher. It's a fastball that he tried glove side and missed down low. Hampton again, a returner to this team. He was with the squad last year on the 2025 roster. As the 2-2 comes into the plate to Hampton, and he'll swing at one that gets away. He just barely tipped it, and Dunning is writhing on the ground in pain. This does not look great. He's worn a few already. He's probably going to be really banged up after this one. So good news, Hoppers fans. Hampton's still alive. Bad news is Dunning does not look like he's feeling great. Scott Tucker, the head coach, will come out. We'll give you some info on him when we return in the bottom of the 6th with our Paducah coaches, Pop. And Dunning's just a recent graduate of McCracken County and has already worn quite a few. And can definitely wear you quite a bit. We go back to last night to Zach Johnson, who was catching for Hoptown. He worked a lot all over the place, including one where he bounced down the block and ended up catching the throat. Which, yeah, that one never could ever feel great, no matter if it's baseball or even like a ping pong ball. Or maybe I'm just a little soft. But nonetheless, yeah, Johnson definitely feeling it afterwards, but still doing all right. He's looking good today. He's just out with an off day, not an injury. Just to say, like, they take a lot of pain back there. That's just the story we're painting right now. Dunning is going to stay in there, feeling all right, and gets the thumbs up and okay sign from head coach Scott Tucker to remain in this ball game. Count remains 2-2 after Hampton caught one off the edge of the bat and stays alive. On deck is Evan Leonard with only one out here and no one on the top of the 6th. So the 1-run lead, would love to grab a few more because, as you know in this matchup, no lead is safe. That continues after a strikeout looking. It's back-to-back Ks to begin the 6th inning. Leonard comes up and will hope to avoid going 3 up, 3 down in the Hoppers order for the first time today. Leonard is so far 1 for 3. He's reached twice, though, once on a single. And his other reach doesn't count as a hit, was a fielder's choice. First pitch with 2 outs, and it's a curveball that dips off the corner for ball 1. Leonard also made his Hoppers debut yesterday. Had 1 hit. It was a double in the 9th inning, which McCartan brought him around on off his mammoth home run. As the 1-0 comes in and misses in the dirt again with a curveball, 2-0's the count. Leonard from Clarksville, Tennessee, played at Clarksville Academy. Now plays with the Cleveland State Community College Cougars, where he played as a two-way. Had a .331 batting average and a .476 on base percentage with them this spring. Ground ball left side foul, and the count now 2-1. As a pitcher, he made 5 appearances with an 11.57 ERA, giving up 21 runs, only 18 earned, and 14 innings of work. So now the freshman back in the right-handed box. He stands 6'1". Even though he's a two-way, he's listed as a catcher as well, so he kind of plays both sides of that battery as he fouls one out to play on the right side, 2-2 the count. Leonard graduated from Clarksville Academy, ranked the number 16 catcher in the state of Tennessee by perfect game. And you see why his bat's so strong from the spring at Cleveland State Community College. Deuce is wild here on the top of the 6th. No one on as the pitch from Bodenberg delivered, and he'll miss outside and low. And now there's a full count to Leonard. Three balls, 2 strikes. Bodenberg through the windup. He'll fire, and it's ripped down the left field line and past the third baseman. Leonard reaches with a 2-out single. I'll do the job. It's his second base of the day, third this summer, and Connor Scheidt is the new batter. Scheidt's up for the fourth time today. He is technically 0 for 3, though he reached in the third inning on a fielder's choice and came all the way around to score. Steps into the left-handed box. Still looking for his first hit against Paducah this summer. First pitch, fastball called in the corner for strike one. Scheidt played with Indiana Southeast. They had a fantastic year. In the River States Conference, they were regular season champs as well as tournament champs, their first tournament championship in the conference since 2022. As the next pitch called strike on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes for the McCordsville, Indiana native. Stands 5'11", as a redshirt sophomore in the left-handed box, also a returner from the 20-25 roster. 0-2 delivery from Bodenberg, and it's ripped foul on the right side. So Scheidt stays alive. He looks back towards his dugout, and I don't know if you caught it when you were looking at your screens there, but you saw him kind of throw his hand down with palm up, almost as if he was throwing a curveball to show back to his dugout that, yeah, that one was a curveball, that one broke. The main thing is showing is that it was a spinner so that they're in the dugout able to kind of track what's happening based off the count and know better what to expect when they're at the plate. That's communication that pays off later in the game. That one roped and way foul, count still 0-2. So that's a big reason why, go back to our trivia question, the Hoppers have been able to score a lot in the latter portion of the game because they communicate so well. While they're at the plate, when they're done with an at-bat, even if they're out, if they strike out, whether it's looking or swinging, they're back in the dugout telling everyone, hey, this is what I saw with this count, with this pitch. Here's how this pitch looked out of the hand. Here's how it fell if it was a little bit later, if it had an early break. Here's what to expect at the plate, and pays off later in the at-bat. Scheidt going back in the right field, and drifting on it is Trey Dooley. He'll corral it for out number 3. So after the 2-out single from Evan Leonard, nothing else prevails. We head to the Chiefs half, the 6th inning, with a 1-run lead. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball in a moment. Bottom of the 6th here at historic Brooks Stadium, Paducah, Kentucky. Your Hoppers lead the Chiefs 4-3. And the head coach for Paducah, Scott Tucker, hoping his team can crawl back, as it's been a back-and-forth series between these two, even though the Hoppers lead it 3-1 overall this summer. They've had some really good contests. Scott Tucker, the head coach, is in his first year as the manager for Paducah. He succeeds Leon Worth, longtime manager for them beforehand. Apparently really known for team resilience and his clubhouse unity. First pitch right down the middle, as we've got a new arm on the mound for the Hoppers. We'll tell you about him in a moment. But Scott Tucker, talked to him before the game. You can definitely see that unity come across. Really cool guy. He's very nice, and that one's over in right field. Beatty lands in front of him. There's a leadoff single for Jack Robinson. That gets one on. You can tell why they have that unity, especially with younger guys that play at a high quality of baseball. Robinson was a leadoff batter. We'll now see 8 and 9 in the top of the order due up for the Chiefs. New pitcher on the mound for Hoppers. It's Gavin Powell out there for the first time this summer. He succeeds Gabe Eddington, who went 1 2/3, giving up no runs on 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to the plate. It misses outside. He squared around for the bunt and pulled back inside. Now look in again. As the pitch comes in, he squares around and pulls back as that one missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Again at the plate now is Landon Gilbert, who's 0 for 2, with a line out and a pop out to the catcher, Ryan McCartan. There's some work again in the bullpen for the Hoppers. As he squares around and tries to lay down the bunt, he held it out there for strike 1. Hartman's the man crashing, and the first baseman, Connor Scheitz, holding put, so you'll assume that the little wheel would be Hampton, the second baseman, moving the second. And if really needed, if something goes haywire, Wall would move over the third. 2-1 pitch. He squares around again, lays down a bunt right back to the pitcher. Powell picks it up, throws the first, and there's 1 out in the inning. Robinson moves in the scoring position at second base. Powell did not pitch this spring as well. He attends Ren Lake College, home of the Warriors, the JUCO, and in Illinois. They play in Region 24. They went 25 and 27 this past year. Also a hometown kid from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, attended Hopkinsville High School and was with the team in the 2025 roster. First pitch, the next at-bat, roped out towards right field. Beatty going after it, dives, and he's caught it for the out. Throw over the second for the double play, and it's dropped by Cade Wall. If he would have caught it, they would have doubled him off. That was Maddox Cope at the plate. Robinson gets back in safely. There is 2 outs after an ecstatic grab from the right fielder. Brings up the top of the order with now Andrew Dixon. Dixon is 1 for 2 with a double and reached last time on a walk. Has a man in scoring position. And now facing the 6'3" righty on the mound. Majoring in business. He's only listed as an infielder and outfielder for Ren Lake, but helping give some innings here today. First pitch to the at-bat to Dixon, and it misses the outside corner for ball 1. Not 100% who's in the dugout and the bullpen for the Hoppers. Try to give you an answer soon as next pitch, it runs inside for ball 2. I believe that's actually Evan Leonard in there warming up. It is Evan Leonard. So we can see him come in after Gavin Powell. 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs in the bottom 6. So 1-run lead and a runner in scoring position to tie things up. Ground ball right side. Hampton is gobbled it up and thrown at the first. And there's the end of the 6th inning. We played 2/3 of the Hoppers lead here on the road, trying to get back in the win column after yesterday's loss. It's 4-3 as we head to the 7th on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Top of the 7th here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. As we're going to take a moment to look at some scores around the league. Obviously, the Hoppers lead here 4-3. Henderson Flash taking on the Madisonville Miners. That score 6-3 in favor of the Miners if that score holds as well. Oh, wow. It just literally updated on me from 6-3. And as I just adjusted something, it updated to be 9-6 in favor of the Flash. Well, if the Miners can come back and win that game, and the Hoppers also win, the Hoppers will jump back in first place. If they win and the Flash win, well, they'll remain in second place, just half a game behind them. The other game, the OVL, the Full Count Rhythm lead the Fulton Railroaders 1-0. New pitcher on the mound for the Paducah Chiefs is number 99, Johnny Bingham, making his summer debut. He hasn't pitched so far this year. He's out there standing as a 6'3", 175-pound righty from Eastern Kentucky. Finished up his freshman year there. And he's from Eddyville, Kentucky. So the D1 prospect is out there to battle in the order for the Hoppers 5, 6, 7, beginning with Dom Hartman. Hartman is 1 for 2. He grounded to a very strange 2-3-1 double play. It was a little chopper right in front of the catcher who picked it up, threw it the first to get him out, and then they threw it back to the plate where the pitcher at the time was Landon Pund, was covering, and he applied a tag to Zach Hampton coming home for that other out. Outside of that, it's been a single and a walk for him to get on safely today. First pitch for Hartman, it's a called strike of the knees with a fastball. Hartman on that one single now extends to a 6-game hitting streak, the longest for anyone for the Hoppers this summer, as the 0-1 comes in from Bingham. That one's fouled backwards, and he's in an 0-2 spot. Hartman, also a native of Texas. He's from Taylor, Texas, where he attended Taylor High School. Home of the Ducks, he was a football and baseball player and 4-time All-District with his baseball squad. The 0-2 pitch, it's in the dirt. He'll swing and miss at it. Curveball gets him with the K. And there's one out in the inning. Look at the total so far for the Hoppers. Against the third pitcher they face, they've now struck out 6 times in total. Not a bad number. Now in the 7th inning, not horrible. Both one out away. That brings up Ryan McCartan, the catcher. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts, one to the left and one to the right. And there's a curveball in towards the corner for strike 1. McCartan, that fly ball left field, almost cleared the fence. It was about 3 feet short, if even that, from being back-to-back nights with a home run. That pitch about a couple of levels too much upstairs, and there's an even 1-1 count on the miss. McCartan from Lake Orion, Michigan, attends Saginaw Valley State, enters this game with a .316 batting average. The 1-1 delivery from Bingham as he kicks and goes to the plate. It's fouled out of play backwards towards the parking lot for strike 2. McCartan, like Hartman right in front of him at Lake Orion High School, was a baseball and football player. Where in baseball, he was on the All-District team in 2023 and 2024. And with his football team, he was All-League in 2024. That was his senior year. Pitch on the outside corner called strike looking, and there's back-to-back Ks to begin the inning. That's how they began the 6th. It was a strikeout swing and then a strikeout looking. This inning, it's a strikeout swing and a strikeout looking. And that brings up Reed Hayes in the 7-hole, who is 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, a ground out to the shortstop to begin his day. So 2 away in the inning. He steps up to try to spark a rally to get some much-needed insurance, even though the pitching's been shutting things down on both sides recently. Fastball, he tried inside and misses. And there's a 1-0 count to begin his day. Reed Hayes collected 3 hits so far this year against Paducah, as there's another fastball that runs inside for ball 2. Has a 194 batting average coming into the game, but a .324 on base percentage. That's made up by 5 walks, a hit by pitch, and reaching on a couple errors so far this year. 2-0 delivery from Bingham, and that one runs inside with a fastball again. 3-0 the count. He's missed that pitch in the same spot every single time. On deck is the right fielder, Easton Beatty. And wouldn't this be prominent if you listen to the home games where you make a great play in the field, you come up, and now you got a chance at the plate to continue your success. 3-0, and that runs so far inside that it hit off Reed Hayes, and you could hear that one snap like it hit plastic, and I don't think that caught his elbow guard. He's going to fall down as I think that caught his wrist, and this is not going to be pretty. He's going to have to walk down the first as it hit his hand. He's holding it down. Oh, boy, I don't think this is very good. Starting to take off the batting glove and telling Benny to come take out. He's going to come out of this game, I think. He's calling for them to pull him, I'm pretty sure. Reed Hayes is walking down. Across first, and you immediately start heading for the dugout. That one, I don't want to speculate, but it sounded as bad as you can think it did. Oh, no. So we'll have to see someone come in the run for him. And how awful it is that you miss all 3 pitches inside and go back even further to the point where you threw your hardest pitch at it. That was the hardest pitch of the at-bat, too. It wasn't like he tried slowing it down. That was the hardest pitch he threw. Ran even further inside. And on a 3-0 count, you get hurt to the point where you're out of the game, and we're going to keep it at that because who knows how bad it actually is. You could hear that like I didn't have. If you guys don't know how broadcasting works, I have a headset on that kind of takes away from most of the surrounding sounds, and I could hear it clear as day as if it came straight through my mic with my buddy right beside me. So hopefully he's okay. Praying for the best. Really good player and even better dude to be around. Don't want to miss him this summer. So hopefully he's just got to feel a little bit better after this. First pitch, the next at-bat, Beatty's up, and he tried putting that one over into Indiana as we sit near in the Ohio River. And there's an 0-1 count. Bingham looks in and now ready with the sign. On the right side of the river, he pitches, and that one high and in for ball 2. Ironically enough, the past 2 pitches, obviously the first one was a curveball, so he took some off it. Tried a fastball that he took a whole load off of with that pitch. Chris Benny, I see now behind the dugout looking into the stands for some people, or maybe even something, maybe even some ice, and Beatty will foul tip one backwards, 1-2. He's sending Hudson Hamilton and Carter Ross for some stuff. I think now Gage Montes, is going for something. They're going to be looking for A, ice, B, a trainer, or C, possibly both. I'm hoping mostly just the ice portion, and it's just a big stinger and bruise, and maybe it looks purple tomorrow, and that's as worse as it gets. Curveball in the dirt, misses in the opposite batter's box, and the county evens 2 balls and 2 strikes against Easton Beatty. Deuce is wild and sap the 7th. Hoppers still have a 4-3 lead. And look to add on a few more. Neither team has scored since the 4th inning, where the Hoppers played at 2 and the Chiefs scored 1. Pitch from Bingham. He goes the curveball, and that's right in the middle of the zone for a strikeout looking. And that does it for the top of the 7th. We head to stretch time here at Brooks Stadium. Your Hoppers lead by 1. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball after the break. Back with the bottom of the 7th inning here in Paducah, Kentucky. Your Hoppers still lead by a run. It's 4-3 as we take a look at the standings in the Ohio Valley League. We talked about the most prominent story with Henderson Flash in first place after their win last night. They've won 10 in a row to move to 14-5, a half game ahead of your Hoptown Hoppers, 13-5 in second place. In third is tied Full Count Rhythm with a 9-9 record, as well as the Paducah Chiefs with a 9-9 record. In fifth place is the Fulton Railroaders, 5-13, and in dead last is the Madisonville Miners with a 4-13 record, just a half game behind the Railroaders. We focus our attention back now with a new pitcher on the mound. He will be facing 2-3-4 due up for the Chiefs. It's Evan Leonard with his pitching debut in a Hoppers uniform. I remember a two-way guy, I talked about it earlier, made 5 appearances for Cleveland State Community College where he had a 11.57 ERA. Delivers now to Brett Haas, and for his pitch is found out of play backwards. Remember, the Hoppers were kind of looking at a little bit of a bullpen game. They started out with Carson Knowles, went to Gabe Eddington, then Gavin Powell, and now on their 4th pitcher of the day with Leonard out there. The second Leonard that can pitch, the other one, Brady Leonard, who's obviously not the one out there right now. Won't see him today. As that pitch fastball, and McCartan kind of got him switched up on it. 1-1 the count as it missed the zone, and McCartan did not call for it. He was definitely not ready, otherwise he would have been able to catch it. Believe he tried to call a curveball there, and it obviously ran up on him a little quickly. He was able to protect himself and block it down. The 1-1 delivery from Leonard. He goes with a curveball that gets a swing and miss from Brett Haas for strike 2. Haas so far this evening is 0 for 1. He reached on a hit by pitch in the 3rd and recorded a sac fly in the 4th inning. Brought in Jack Robinson. That's where we're at right now. The 1-2 delivery from Leonard, and it just misses with the fastball. McCartan was ready to throw down to third and let the ball fly around the horn. Instead, we'll have to try to get back in the zone again, even count 2-2. Leonard looks in, accepts. Now goes for the windup from the right side of the rubber. He fires from the belt, and it's down in the dirt in front of the home plate, and it's a full count. Leonard had a 2.0 whip with the Cougars this spring. He gave up 21 runs, 18 earned on 24 hits, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts, but also 7 home runs. Leonard accepts and now works for the windup again. The full count delivery is down the middle of the zone and ripped out towards right center field. And getting underneath it is Brennan Gibson, the center fielder. And there's your first out for Leonard on the mound. Well, the one away, that brings up the right fielder, Trey Dooley. Dooley so far is 0 for 3. Pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Also reached in the 3rd inning on a fielder's choice. So gone on once. Hasn't been able to do much with it. Dooley does also have a team lead. 6 hit by pitches. Hopefully he doesn't get one here, though. Curveball that he'll catch up to and foul it off for strike 1. 0-1 the count there. Now, Dooley was still a little ahead of that swing like he was earlier in his previous at-bat where he was caught looking against Gabe Eddington. And that curveball from Eddington really fooled him. He was way out ahead of it. And with McCartan still catching, he recognizes that with Dooley, knows that you can go to that pitch to get him out here. Goes back to the curveball and misses at the bottom of the well for ball 1. Got to stick with that pitch, though, because, again, it's been successful against Trey Dooley. And it's really can change his eye level as he's been way out ahead of it. The 1-1 fastball inside. There's your setup pitch for the curveball. Called a strike, and there was a 1-2 count. With you back ahead in the lead, you could fire one right here. Leonard set again and toes the rubber. Looks in for a sign, and that works for the windup. He'll deal the pitch and goes to a curveball. Bounce in front of the plate, but Dooley goes swinging. It's a drop 3rd strike, and McCartan won't even be able to attempt to throw down as Dooley hustled and will reach safely. There's your second drop 3rd strike that someone is on safely for today for the Chiefs. A right idea with Leonard to go back to the well with the curveball. Beautiful pitch, but now only 1 out and a runner on. That brings up the DH in the cleanup spot, Austin Wilson, who is 1 for 3. Ironically enough, he's the other man who reached on the drop third strike. That was against Carson Knowles, the leadoff, the second inning. He struck out swinging and ended up making it down after McCartan sailed one over the first baseman Connor Scheidt's head, and he went all the way to second on it. So Leonard will now work from the stretch with one out here in the bottom of the seventh and throws one over his head. Dooley takes off for second. McCartan scoops it up, and there's a runner in scoring position with a 1-0 count. Ugly miss there, so Dooley advances on the wild pitch. And the tying run is now 180 feet away. Wilson will look down for the sign from their third base coach. He does have a team leading 371 batting average. Has recorded only 4 RBIs coming into this game. Does have an RBI today, though, after a double in the third inning. That's one's out toward left field and gets over Cade Wall's head. Dooley's held up at third as the throw comes in from the left fielder. And there's now an even of, no, not an even, but runners on the corners with still one out. Got to mention after Reed Hayes got hurt, still reads that he's in left. It's Chance Sweeney out there in left field, I believe. Yes, it's Chance Sweeney out there who came in to run for Hayes. So now one out and runners in the corners brings up Kendrick Dunning after the single. Do have the double play ball in order, but Leonard was a chance to go 2 up, 2 down, and now it's now only 1 out with 2 on. This inning looking like it's flipping on him in a hurry. We'll throw to the plate, and it's a fastball inside corner for a called strike. Good idea with the fastball to start off there to see if Wilson might be taking off or getting an extra hefty lead off first. He started to scoot off even further when Leonard got set. He gets set here, and now he takes an extra step off first like he did last time. 0-1 the count as Leonard looks over towards first and now slide steps towards the plate. It's a fastball up on the left field line and lands foul, and I cannot believe that it's foul. That should be a fair ball. And the third base coach walking up to the line, I believe that's their head coach, Scott Tucker, and is pointing at where it hit on the chalk. That should have been, weirdly enough, a fair ball from what I can see from my angle. But we'll take it. It's an 0-2 count because that would have brought in the tying run and put Austin Wilson, who's standing on first, probably over in third, and Dunning, the batter, probably on second with a double. Sweeney can get to a ball quickly, though, so we may have held up at first, but that's not the point. It's just a strike and an 0-2 count. Leonard back to the plate and gets him swinging, missing first. First strikeout. Throw over the move to first, and they do not get the back pick in time. There's your strikeout for Leonard, his second K, and the first successful one to really count on the board. So with 2 outs, that brings up Jackson Supsky, again with that little foul ball that could have really ruined things for Dunning there. It looked like it landed fair. It should have, with the way it was tailing, landed foul. Some reason just died and landed, assumably, on the chalk. They didn't call it, though. Chris Benny's coming out to ask if there was obstruction from Dunning because even though he's batting from the right side, he kind of came over the plate after he swung and missed, which does result in and out when you have the back pick. McCartan didn't hesitate. He threw right down there, and that should probably go down as interference. There's going to be a conversation, and there's a very real possibility this can be overturned, and there's the third out of the inning with no one coming across. So our umpires discuss. Again, what really happened is, if you're unfamiliar with the rule, Dunning in the right-handed box swung through and missed, and with that he kind of fell forward and over the plate. You cannot step over the plate at any point after a pitch or swing and a miss or anything without it being a strike or an out. In this situation, you're already out and you're throwing down the first, which means that there is a possibility of obstruction interference and could result in the third out. A little bit of a lengthier conversation as this might end it. Leonard's just standing out there by Hampton, and they will not overturn it. He's back safely. I think that's probably the fair and right call, mostly because, well, they didn't throw into Dunning. He didn't necessarily get right in his line of sight or throwing path, and, well, he didn't hit him. I think if he would have hit him, it obviously would have resulted in an out. But if they also could have determined that he was in his line and path of the throw, it probably could have gotten overturned. So we're back to our original situation with runners on the corners and now 2 outs in the inning. 4-3 lead for the Hoppers, and the shortstop Supsky at the plate. He's 0 for 3 this evening as the righty Leonard goes to the dish. First pitch is a fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. For Supsky, it's been a ground out to the catcher. He kind of just put one as a swinging bunt in front of him, as well as a line out to Hampton at second base and a strikeout swing back in the 5th. Leonard set, and now goes back to the plate with the 0-1. Fastball in the corner, and he's got an 0-2 hole to him. Supsky behind quickly, as he'll now reset, standing 5-9 in the right-handed box. Recorded 2 RBIs so far this year, has a third standing 90 feet away, looking to tie up the game in the bottom of the 7th. Hoppers have led the majority of the time, which we haven't seen in quite a while. 0-2 pitch from Leonard, and it's fouled out of play on the right side. Most of these games, it's been the Cardiac Kids, whatever you want to call them. The Hoppers have had to make quite a miraculous comeback. So far in this one, besides a tie here and there, they've led the entire game. They were tied up in the top of the 3rd and then responded with a 2-run bottom half of the inning and have never relegated the lead since. Leonard again set from the stretch. From the rubber, he fires, and that misses the corner. 1-2. McCartan thought about throwing down the first, would hold up as Wilson went back quickly. So it's still runners on the corners with 2 outs. You're scared to steal here because Wilson doesn't have the most speed in the world, and you can't run into an out here with a runner just, again, right there on third base. Leonard looks in and now accepts the sign. Looks over towards first. Now from the belt, he fires, and it's upstairs for a ball. Nice hold from Supsky, honestly, because it started to light up the eyes. He started to go towards it, and he held up just in the nick of time. Now count even 2 apiece. On deck would it be Jack Robinson, who had that leadoff single last inning. Leonard now set from the rubber. Looks over towards third, and now comes to the plate with a 2-2 pitch. Misses downstairs, and the count runs full. After starting 0-2, Supsky's worked himself back in to a full count and trying to extend now the bottom of the 7th. Leonard and the Hoppers trying to get out unscathed. No damage would come across with a strike right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Supsky again now in the right-handed box. You've got Dooley standing on third and Wilson on first. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and a 1-run lead. Leonard now back to the plate. The pitch, and swinging, missing. Leonard gets out of the inning with no damage and still a 1-run lead. It's 4-3 as we head to the 8th here in Brooks Stadium in Paducah, Kentucky. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball in just a moment. At the 8th inning of action here, about set on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. It's a 4-3 lead for your Hoptown squad over the home Paducah Chiefs. And let's take a look real quick at the upcoming schedule for your Hoppers. They got an off day tomorrow. Then after that, they're back home at Tiger Field. If you can make it out, they've got first pitch at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. They'll be taking on the Fulton Railroaders. If you can't, you'll be able to watch the game here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV YouTube page, as well as listen to it on WHOP's 95.3 FM, The Farm. After that, they'll go on the road to take on Henderson, then back home against Henderson, trying to get first place right back before going on the road Saturday to Fulton. First pitch, squared around for a bunt. Cade Wall going down, and he's got another infield single on the bunt. He reaches safely, and the leadoff guy is on to begin the inning. Real beautiful piece of hitting there from Wall. And again, we bring it up every broadcast, I feel like. But Wall's shown it quite a bit. He can lay down that bunt, and it pays off very, very well. Just talked about that upcoming schedule, but obviously we got to focus our attention right here and winning game number 19 of the season. Top of the lineup with Brennan Gibson now up after Cade Wall got on for the first time today with a hit, second time overall. Pitch upstairs for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count to Gibson. He is 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a pop out of foul territory, as well as a strikeout, swing his last time up. Looking to tack on a few more. He squares around. Third baseman clashes, and it's called strike as he pulled back. Runner takes off for second, and there's a stolen base for Cade Wall. I believe that's number 8 for Cade Wall this year. I'll confirm real quick. Yes, that's stolen base number 8 out of 10 attempts. You go back a couple weeks ago, and Cade Wall had a 5 stolen base game, which was miraculous. Pitch a gold strike, evens the count 1-1. As Bingham, still the pitcher out there, delivers, and that one misses inside for ball 2. Wall got off second base so much that he was about halfway over the third when that pitch crossed the heart of the plate. So he's thinking about going the third, I would assume, depending on if Bingham really looks at him or not. He's set from the stretch and now looks back towards Wall. Focuses back towards the plate and pitches to the plate. It's down low to Gibson, and there's a 3-1 count. On deck is Zach Hampson with Evan Leonard in the hole. He's now the pitcher after DHing. And now Bingham is set again. Looks back towards second before coming to the plate. And now the 3-1 pitch. It's going to be a called strike on the inside corner, and the count now runs full against Gibson. A really great addition to this roster. Probably helped to be brought in by Max Kirby, who spent the year as a grad assistant with Freed Hardman, where Gibson plays and was a Mid-South Conference Freshman of the Year. Pitch above the letters, eye high, and there's a full count walk. Runners on first and second to begin the top of the 8th. We'll bring up Zach Hampson. And you never know what can happen here. In the bottom of the 8th inning, bottom of the 9th inning, Paducah is very capable of a very large inning. You go back to last night when it was a back-and-forth offensive slugfest with some defense trickling in as the innings continued and being really good for the pitching side of things until the Flash decided to pour on 6 runs in the 8th inning and win in a landslide 12-9. Cade Wall takes off on the pitch. Throw down the third. Wall gets in and the throw goes in the left field. Wall's coming home to add some insurance and tack on a few. Wall scores. Gibson takes off for third and will hold up there. You need some insurance. Call Cade Wall. He's got you covered with a 5-3 score. Bad throw there, and Gibson would have been safe at third no matter what as he ran into the shortstop, so probably would have went down as obstruction. Wall gets a stolen base going to third, but comes home on an errant throw. As now there's a meeting on the mound, and they're just going to have a quick conversation about what they need to do with the 6th run, standing 90 feet away. He would double the Chiefs' score. And at the plate now is still Zach Hampton after that pitch, I believe, missed the zone for a 1-0 count. And on deck is Evan Leonard. You're facing the top of the order, which for most teams, obviously the best part of the order. It still reigns true with the Hoppers, but again, as we've said throughout the year, their 1 through 9 is terrific, and it's really difficult to see a spot where, you feel like you could take off a little bit and just attack the batters because they're not as strong. Doesn't happen with this Hopper squad. They have a really talented team this year, and that's shown up early here in the first half of the season. They've played about half the season so far, as it's game 19 of the year. They're scheduled for a 40-game regular season. That's if they play all 40. Obviously, things can happen with rainouts and having to finish the year by a certain date. And the playoffs coming near the end of July. They're scheduled to begin, I believe, though I could be a little bit wrong, July 20th. The last regular season game is scheduled for the 18th. That's a Saturday. I believe they would have 19th, a Sunday off, and then would play again on Monday the 20th. Bingham readies again. First pitch after the break is a called strike to even the count 1-1 to Zach Hampton. Hampton has reached 3 of the 4 times today, 2 with a walk and once with a single. He struck out looking last time, though, in the 6th inning. Infield is in for Paducah, as Bingham now delivers the 1-1. Hampton goes swinging it, one on the outside, and cannot connect. He's behind 1-2 in the count. Hampton this summer as a two-way we've brought up has been really good on both sides, pitching and hitting. He's collected 5 RBIs coming into the game. Infield still in as the 1-2 comes to the plate. It's a curveball at the bottom of the zone. They'll ring him up on strikes for out number 1. Back-to-back backwards K for the second baseman. And now that'll bring up Evan Leonard. Leonard came in just to pitch a minute ago. Things started to get away from him after a drop third strike. Met Trey Dooley reach safely, and then there was a single to follow it up. But then he had back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the jam. He has a runner on third and 1 out. Bingham set from the right side of the rubber. He deals. That one ripped in the deep left center field. This one getting back in a hurry, going long. A diving attempt from the left fielder, can't catch up to it. That'll bring in 1 run. Leonard goes in the second with an RBI double, and the Hoppers have doubled the Chiefs' score at 6-3. What an absolute blast from Leonard for his 3rd base hit of the day. First extra base hit after he had a double last night, and now his 2nd RBI to bring in a run. So Gibson scores at the 2 spot here in the inning. That brings up Connor Scheidt with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. But first, they'll ask for the game ball from Bingham. New pitcher coming in from Paducah's Arm Barn. We'll have his details here in a moment. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Hoppers offense in just a moment. Hoppers have already put up a 2 spot in the inning. They lead 6-3 over the Paducah Chiefs. We're back in the top of the 8th inning with a runner on third base, or on second base, excuse me. I should adjust that. Runner on second, and the batter is Connor Scheidt. That's after an RBI double from Evan Leonard, and I'm sure a few members in the Hoptown dugout recognize the arm on the mound. They give the nod to number 36, Aiden Key, a freshman at Vol State Community College. Obviously, the Hoppers have quite a few pioneers on their own roster. Aiden Key has thrown twice already this summer against the Hoppers, and in those 2 combined appearances, he's gone 1 2/3, giving up 2 total runs, both earned on 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. In total this year, it's 5 runs, all earned on 6 hits, 8 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So he's battling about the middle of the line and been a pretty solid die for the Chiefs. Scheidt's not going to be coming up right now. It looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter. It's Evan Jacob who'll swing through one and foul it backwards for strike 1. I asked him when we were in break between the top and bottom half of the third, because usually I try not to pull anyone that is expected to play at all for the Hoppers so they don't have to ruin anything. Or could you imagine if things go right in the third and you need them to go in and they're not in the dugout? That's the goal. Well, Evan Jacob, he was like, I don't know. You never really know, which is the same idea everywhere. You never truly know if you go in or not. Didn't really expect it, but here he is now, the 0-1. And that one gets away. Leonard moves up to third on the wild pitch, and the count evens 1-1. So we'll stand 90 feet away from Jacob, who's up for the 3rd time today. But as he told me still, while he wasn't sure if he was going to get in, you always got to stay ready. And as we heard from him earlier, you got to have fun with it. Keep the game fun, because that's when you play your best. If you let it stop becoming a game, it's not fun, and you start to not play as well as you do. Infield's back in again with 1 out here in the inning. Evan Jacob has recorded 17 RBIs on the summer. First pitch after the wild pitch is a called strike, and Jacob's behind 1-2. He has yet to record a hit against Paducah this summer. He's 0 for 12 against them. Has a .298 batting average after he went on a bit of a skid and got a hit last night in their game to kind of get out of the funk. 1-2 delivery. Jacob will leave at the bottom of the zone and strike out looking for out number 2. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and that brings up Dom Hartman. That's kind of how they've been put down for the majority of the day. When they've been putting the balls in play, it hasn't really been right at someone like we've usually seen from a lot of guys that have struggled. They've been putting the ball in play, it's right at someone. Today, that's kind of flipped the switch. Everything they put out there has been in a gap, and they pretty much have been put down a lot recently with the strikeout. First pitch to Hartman is at the knees for strike 1. Last inning, it was 3 strikeouts. Before that, it was 2 strikeouts. Go back to the 5th, it was a pair of strikeouts again. They already have 2 this inning and have been stacking them up quickly as we've progressed. I've still played well, though, for 6 runs, as that one just misses the zone. Look at the day, Paducah, 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Hoptown, though, 6 runs on 11 hits and just 1 error as well. The lefty, Aiden Key from Vol State Community College, readies and now deals the 1-1 pitch. Hartman leaves it upstairs, and now there's a 2-1 count. Hartman has extended his hitting streak to 6 games after a single back in the 3rd inning. Only reached 1 other time with a walk in the 5th. Outside of that, it's been a double play he grounded into, as well as a strikeout swing back in the 7th. 2-1 delivery from Key, and there's a swing and miss. 2-2 the count. There's an Aiden Key and an Aiden Smith that both pitched for Vol State Community College, so I went with the wrong Aiden by accident right there. Hopefully forgive me. Now the 2-2 delivery of the Hartman with 2 outs. That's above his head, and the count runs full. Leonard still stands on third, looking to tack on another run in the top of the 8th inning. Trying to throw this one a bit more out of reach for the Chiefs, but right now standing only a 3-run difference. Definitely not out of the realm for Paducah to blast a few across in the bottom half of the inning. Pitch again, high, and there's a full count walk. Runners on the corners with 2 outs brings up the catcher, Ryan McCartan. I'll take a moment to take off his shin guards, and now starting to walk up to the box. He is looking for some redemption today. He's 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. His other 2 will fly outs towards left and center and right field. Also barely missed back-to-back nights with a homer by just a few feet. So McCartan now steps up in the right-handed box and awaits the pitch from the left-handed dealer. Leg kick to the plate, and McCartan swings at it and fouls it off his own leg for strike 1. He'll hobble down the first base line a little bit and hopefully walk it off. He limps back towards the box now. Take a moment to shake it off, dude. There he is. He takes a moment to step out, make sure he's okay. Definitely a stinger, but should be all right to continue. On deck, would be Chance Sweeney. It was Reed Hayes, but he got injured in this one. The severity technically unknown, and I will not fully try to guess here because that's a little wrong. But if I had to say anything, it did not look pretty. No balls and 1 strike with runners on the corners and 2 outs. It's a 6-3 lead for the Hoptown Hoppers. Pitch comes in. McCartan thought about going around and held it up. And in time, and it missed the zone barely, even 1-1 count. Really good eye from McCartan. And it's kind of fair that a catcher would have a great eye at the plate. They're seeing the zone not only the whole game when they come up to the dish, but also the whole game behind the dish as well. You expect it to be the same both ways, and for the most part, it has been this game and throughout the summer. On the 1-1 as the runner takes off for second. That's a called strike, low and in, and they won't even attempt to throw down towards second. So there's a stolen base for Dom Hartman, and he tacks on yet another one. He leads this team with now, I want to say 14 stolen bases. 2 in scoring position for McCartan. He's behind 1-2 in the count. Pitch comes in and just misses the inside corner, even at 2-2. Was near the same spot as the last pitch, and I'll shake it off as he let that one fly for ball. So the exercise science major also interning with our performance group as a strength coach this summer. Reddy's back again. The 2-2 goes back to an off speed and misses way outside. Dunning slid over and grabbed it before I went to the backstop to save a run from coming across. Count 3-2, just like they had Dom Hartman before, who got on with the walk. Trying to avoid back-to-back full count walks as Key now set again. From the left side of the rubber, he delivers. It gets away from the catcher. Here comes Leonard towards the plate. No flip towards the plate, and he slides in safely. It's 7-3 after the walk, and runners stand on the corner as McCartan started to go towards second and will return after the ball is retrieved. 4-run lead after back-to-back full count walks, and the 2-out rally will continue for the Hoppers. This inning, they've now plated 3, and that's been on just 2 hits and now 3 walks. So Paducah is kind of handing them quite a bit of it. Sweeney gets his first at-bat of the day, coming in for Reed Hayes. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch outside and gets away from Dunning again and didn't get too far away. So Hartman stays at third, and when we see McCartan move up in the scoring position on second base, and there's a 1-0 count to the lefty Sweeney. Look back towards last night. Sweeney went 0 for 4, though he reached 3 times at his 5 appearances, once as a walk and twice with a fielder's choice. He'll swing through the next pitch, and he's even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck stands Nick Johnson, who looks to pinch hit for Easton Beatty. You got to get to that point, though. Key now set again. Delivering pitch number 19 for him. And Sweeney swings through it again, and he's behind 1-2. Sweeney's 11 for 16 against Paducah this summer. He has made a mockery of them at the plate. He's got a .304 batting average and has recorded 9 RBIs. Looking to get double-digit RBIs if he can bring a few across here. He'll foul it out of play over on the left side and keeps the count 1-2. Again, standing on third is Dom Hartman after his full count walk. And then Ryan McCartan stands on second after also a full count walk. He again now set. From the left side of the rubber, leg kick delivers, and it's above the head of Sweeney for a 2-2 count. Everyone remains put. Field is playing about straight up. No real adjustments out there in the outfield or the infield for Sweeney. Now again, Key. 2-2. He'll deal. And Sweeney pops it up over on the left side. It's right on the lip of the infield and is caught by the shortstop Supski for the final out. There's a successful inning here for the Hoppers. They score 3 off 2 hits and 3 errors. It is Cade Wall, Brennan Gibson, and Evan Leonard that come across for a 7-3 lead. We head to the bottom of the 8th, looking to hold on to the 4 runs lead. Bottom of the eighth here at Brooks Stadium. Hoppers lead 7-3 after putting up a 3-spot in the top half of the inning. Evan Leonard still out there that delivered the pitches for your Hoptown Hoppers after they saw 8 batters come up to the plate. They'll see 7, 8, 9 now due up for the Paducah Chiefs as they play the little tomahawk chop song, if you will. You'll see that with the Atlanta Braves if you're a baseball fan, but obviously, if you know your history, it originates with the Florida State Seminoles. So they're using that right now to fire up the crowd, trying to bring some energy as they need to try to complete a 4-run comeback. They've had an interesting combination of songs going tonight. A lot of fun they're having here. I got to tell you about one here in a moment. As Leonard works through the windup, it's Jack Robinson at the plate. First pitch, swing missing at 1 down the pipe. They played a song that everyone knows earlier, Sweet Caroline, one of my favorite stories. I've got 2 very favorite stories. One's boring for you because it's very personal, as in, like, it's about some grade school basketball. No one wants to hear about that. The 0-1 pitch, you'll start the square around and held up the bunt, just caught it off the bottom half of the bat, and it's into the glove of McCartan for an 0-2 count. The other story is I think a lot of fans would enjoy if they're fans of Kentucky baseball. The Kentucky Wildcats back in 2017 made the Super Regionals for the first time. They hosted the regional as well that year. And as Leonard works for the 0-2, we'll finish the story in a minute, he delivers to Robinson from Mount St. Joe, who found out how to play. Well, in hosting that regional, they played a Game 7 against NC State, which I was there for, and ended up winning that game. And I think what helped really spark it was a lot of fun. In about the 8th inning, they played Sweet Caroline, and the sound system started to go out, and the whole stadium in unison started singing the song together as that one lifted in towards right field, and Beatty's tracked it for the out. He's still in there defensively, even though Johnson was ready to come in to pinch hit for him, and there's one away. So, yeah, the whole stadium kind of went in unison with it, and it gave the team so much energy. You saw those in the dugout for Kentucky kind of get up on top of the railing, turn over, sing it with each other, and they've said afterwards that really kind of sparked a lot of fun to take the lead and end up winning that baseball game and clinching their first Super Regional. We don't have talked about the Super Regional, but if you're a Louisville fan, you love what happened there as the Cardinals hosted and swept. Pitch outside and away for ball 1 as we begin the at-bat with the third baseman, Landon Gilbert. Landon so far today is 0 for 3 with a line out, pop out to the catcher, McCartan, and a ground out on a bunt right back to the pitcher. He'll foul one up the left field line and out of play, and he's even the count 1 apiece. On deck is Maddox Cope, the second baseman. And then we'll see it's out the order if the inning continues past that point. Curveball misses downstairs, fell off the table too early. And there's a 2-1 count for Leonard facing still Landon Gilbert. Gilbert from Tylersville, Kentucky, stands 6'4". He's in the left-handed box. It's a 2-1 pitch. And that one is fouled backwards. And the count evens 2-2. Also had the wrong Landon, He stands 5'10" in the left-handed box. He's from Bowling Green, Kentucky. The 2-2 pitch, and that one misses in the dirt, full count. Right now, what you're witnessing is a battle of future teammates, as Evan Leonard currently plays at Cleveland State Community College, and Landon Gilbert is committed to play at Cleveland State Community College next season. So they'll join each other in the fall, but right now they're battling it out. Leonard works back through the windup. The full count pitch with 1 out, and will do it all over as Gilbert stays alive with the foul ball. Trying to work through bragging rights when they turn back to school and the summer concludes. Leonard again, the full count delivery. From the belt, he fires, and it just misses the zone high. And Gilbert held up in time before going around. It's a full count walk, and there's a runner on first. Maddox Cope, the 9th batter in the order, comes up. He's 0 for 2. Has reached twice, though, once on a walk and once on an E5. It went through the legs of Dom Hartman, and he was able to reach safely. After him will be the top of the order, but the double play is right there presenting itself if possible. Well, he'll lift one to right center field. Beatty tracking it. Will catch it in right field. And there's 2 outs. So forget about the double play. You don't need it. And with 1 pitch, you've got 2 away. We go to the top of the order with Andrew Dixon, who is 1 for 3 with a double and a walk so far today. Dixon, a freshman at Wabash Valley, batted just shy of 400. Chiefs could really use a 2-out rally right now. Don't want to have to try to buy back all 4 and potentially even a 5th if things stood right where they were entering the 9th inning. But looking towards that Hoptown dugout, there was a pair of guys warming up. One of them, Evan Woodward. First pitch, ground ball, right side foul, just shy of getting the first base in fair territory. So it's a strike for an 0-1 count. I would assume if you got a situation right where you're at, Woodward might be the pitcher. As I don't even remember, I didn't even get to see who the other guy was warming up. Might have honestly been, I don't even know, actually. I don't think I gave you an answer. Couldn't really see him. Woodward's the only guy warming up right now as he already left the pen. 0-1, right field and deep. Beatty going back towards the track, and at the base of it, will catch it for the 3rd out. That one sky high, but no damage done. 7-3 lead. We head now to the top of the 9th, looking to hold on to a 7-3 lead and maybe even tack on a few more to give the Hoppers some insurance. We'll be right back with the 9th and final bit of action here at Brooks Stadium. We enter the final inning here in game 19 of the season. Hoppers 13-5, looking to win yet another game here to close out the first half of the season. At the plate, we'll see 8-9 at the top of the order. Nick Johnson will hit in place of Easton Beatty, as that was the only spot in the order that didn't come up last inning when the Hoppers scored 3 runs to give it a 7-3 lead. They look to tack on a few more before we head to the bottom of the 9th. On the mound is still Aiden Key after last inning. He gave up those 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks, did not record a strikeout. Look at how this game's unfolded. Hopper scored off the bat. They had a run in the first inning and then scored again in the third. They led 2-0 before the Chiefs responded. 2 runs in the bottom half of the inning. They made it a 2-2 score. And the Hoppers said, I like to lead this game the whole way through, and scored again and haven't left off since. They were up 4-2, gave up a run in the bottom half of that 4th inning to make it 4-3, and we were scoreless for the next 3 innings until the Hoppers put up 3 in the top of the 8th. And now we lead off to where we're at. 3 outs remain for the Chiefs when they turn the inning over, but they got to keep the score right where they're at. Nick Johnson, the batter in the right-handed box. He'll face the lefty, Aiden Key, and his first pitch is a fastball high and away. Johnson was the catcher last night. Again, brought up a little bit earlier that wasn't feeling too great. He wore a pitch that he was going to block right off the neck. All okay, though, as he's playing today, and will swing at the next one. That's fouled off the netting on the right side, and the count evens 1-1. It was actually caught by Cade Wall, who stands on deck. So it went off the netting and slid down, and Wall was able to retrieve it. I got to give him credit for that, you know. Can't let that go unseen. Johnson ready for the 1-1 as it comes to the plate. Goes to the right side, and it's a line drive caught by the second baseman, Max Cope. And there's 1 up, 1 down in the inning. We now go to the 9th spot with Cade Wall, who's kind of serving again as that extra leadoff batter in the order. He is 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. A single back in the 8th inning, came around and scored. And he had a walk in the 2nd inning as well. So Wall comes up as the Ball State Community College freshman set on the rubber. From the left side, leg kick to the plate. Curveball in the corner inside for a strike. Key's an interesting guy, though he won't hit. He throws lefty and bats righty. Usually when you see it both ways, it's a throw righty, hit lefty. I think that's more common. Next one right down the middle, and there's an 0-2 hole for Cade Wall. Key reigns from Gallatin, Tennessee, stands 6'1" out there on the mound, as Cade Wall looks to stay alive in the at-bat. 0-2 delivery comes to the plate, and there's 3 pitches all looking for a backwards K, and there's 2 away in the inning. Again, another strikeout for the Hoppers in total today. They've now struck out 9 times. Season high is 15. They've recorded that twice against the Full Count Rhythm, once on a loss 10-2 in their first game in Hendersonville against Full Count. The other one in a win, actually, and a walk-off from Ryan McCartan on Saturday night. That was a very interesting game. They threw Ryan Sweeney as a starter, and he was terrific on the bump. First pitch missed high for a ball. It's a 1-0 count. Next pitch comes in, and it's down the middle for a called strike. 1-1 the count to Brennan Gibson, the center fielder. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a walk. Also has recorded 2 runs, an RBI, and a pair of stolen bases. 1-1 delivery, and Gibson will tip it backwards into the backstop, and he's behind 1-2 against Key. And if you weren't with us yesterday, he had a fantastic, perfect day. He went 3 for 3 with 3 singles, 2 RBIs, a pair of walks, and a pair of runs, as well as 2 stolen bases. So he doubles that again today with now 4 on the season. 1-2 pitch, lifted out towards left field, going back, and will hook foul. That one's out of play. And if it stayed fair, probably would have landed right near the line. And about, I don't know, couple 1 or 2 bounces shy of the warning track. Count still 1-2. Would have gone down for probably at least a double because he's got the speed, and the left fielder Dixon did not get to it quickly. 2-2 the count. He wasn't really even close to the line. So definitely would have landed. Deuces wild in the top of the 9th. Looking for a 2-out rally to give you some extra insurance on the mound. Woodward is ready to come in if this ends it, and it will. 3, there's another strikeout, and there's the second strikeout of the inning. Will end it in the top of the 9th. We head now to the bottom half of the inning. Hoppers looking to close things out. They bring in the absolute amazing closer in Evan Woodward. We'll give you the details on him and his shutout performances in just a moment. We'll be right back. We made it to the bottom of the ninth here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. They're on the road here in Paducah, Kentucky, and lead 7-3. They go from Evan Leonard to now the electric closer. Evan Woodward on the bump gets the nod from Chris Benny. Woodward has been phenomenal in this position all year long. He in 8 appearances, he's got 9 total innings. He's got a 2-0 record, and he's 3 for 3 in save opportunities. He's given up 3 runs, all earned, on 5 hits, 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 12 strikeouts. He has dominated the zone in his appearances, and it feels like a lock whenever he comes in. We looks to lock up one more win right here to move the Hoppers to 14-5. Chiefs trying to stay above 500. They're 9-9 right now and would fall below that line. The loss tonight, they've lost 6 of their last 8. This would be 7 of their last 9 with an L here. It's 2-3-4 due up to the Chiefs. They got the best part of the order. They face one of the best closers in the league. Brett Haas, also one of the best bats, due up. And the first pitch is right down the middle for a called strike. Would it be surprised if they're coming up to the plate right now, looking until they get a strike, so they wait and wait, and they have to get a called strike before they have the green light to swing to work up the pitch count and make sure that he's ready from the bullpen to deliver. Well, the 0-1 runs inside with a fastball, and the count 1-1. What you don't realize about Woodward, though, is that he warms up very quickly. He said that he learned very easily in college that, you got to warm up pretty quick when you're coming from the bullpen. Sometimes game flips on its head in a moment, and you're called upon to come in. Pitch found off backwards, 1-2. So he tells me that, yeah, you know what? I've learned at this point that I can be warmed up and ready on the mound with just 3 to 5 pitches, and I can come in and do my job out there, which, again, has been extremely successful for the Hoppers. They've yet to lose with him on the mound. 1-2 pitch, and it's outside. 2-2. Still got the battery with Ryan McCartan as he started this game. So the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals remain together. They probably would have subbed him in if he didn't start. Now the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brett Haas, who's yet to record a hit today. Next one, it misses the zone, and it's a full count to the leadoff batter. Haas has reached once with a hit by pitch and also has a sac fly, as 0 for 2 outside of that with a ground out and a fly ball to center field. Woodward setting now from the right side of the rubber. Leg kick and deals. The 3-2 on the inside portion. It just misses for a leadoff walk. Remember, not too much damage as you lead by 4. And Trey Dooley comes up to the plate. So that means if they were to keep hitting around here in the bottom of the 9th inning, the tying run would currently stand in the hole. Fans have been trickling out as the game has continued. And there's a very light crowd remaining here for the Paducah faithful in the bottom of the 9th inning. So Woodward now sets for the righty on righty matchup against Trey Dooley. First pitch is a fastball that's found backwards for strike 1. Dooley so far is 0 for 4. He's reached twice, though. Once on a fielder's choice and once on a drop third strike. So he struck out swinging. That was in the 7th inning. And then he got on after one got away from Ryan McCartan. Also didn't help that he swung at a pitch that was about 5 feet in front of the plate, so that was on him. Pitch goes upstairs and I think hit the top of his helmet. Yep, and there's a hit by pitch, and the first 2 guys are on. Tying run now stands on deck. You even go back to the first outing for Woodward this year. Things got away from him against the Fulton Railroaders. That was on the road, game 2 of the season, where the Hoppers would end up winning, and there was a little scare. You're thinking, oh, Woodward's given up a few runners behind him. How can he get out of the jam? And sure enough, he made it look way too simple and cured all the nervousness from the Hoppers faithful back in Hopkinsville for that game. We're going to do it again here as now we see Austin Wilson, the batter. He'll swing through the first pitch for strike 1. Fastball in the outside corner, blew it by him. The DH today has gotten a double and a single. Outside of that, it's been a strikeout that he also reached on a drop third strike. And a pop out to the catcher, Ryan McCartan. No balls, 1 strike with 2 on. Woodward to the plate. That's a fastball that's fouled out of play. And now the batter is behind 0-2. Got Haas standing on second and Dooley on first. Both with some pretty solid speed. Haas has recorded 2 stolen bases so far this year. Dooley has yet to record a stolen base, but we've seen their speed when they run around with the ball put in play. 0-2 delivery, and Woodward blows the door off him with a fastball for strike 3, and there's one out away in the bottom of the 9th. Great pitch there for a swing and miss, and that brings up the catcher, Kendrick Dunning, who's also yet to get ahead. He's 0 for 3, though he walked back in the second inning. Brand new with this team. Has already scored an RBI so far this year, though. First pitch, ground ball, left side in front of the Paducah dugout for strike 1. So still 2 on. It's the same 2. As on deck would stand the shortstop, Jackson Sepsky. You already face the best batters in the order for the Chiefs. Now you just got to keep on moving through and mowing them down. Woodward, the 0-1, as one's lifted up on the right side in foul territory. Here comes the first baseman after it, lifts over the fence, and it's too far out of reach, and there's a strike. So now the count 0-2 as that landed in the Hoptown bullpen. It's Evan Jacob playing first base, by the way. It kind of looks like Evan Leonard. I think they have the wrong Evan in there. I was looking at the game changer. I don't know if I believe that one. I think that's Evan Leonard. Either way, no balls, 2 strikes. Woodward back to the dish. And there's his 14th strikeout with back-to-back Ks. 2 are put down in the 9th, and they're 1 out away from win 14. Trying to keep this stadium as silent as can be. That would be the most beautiful sound for the visiting Hoppers. They still lead by 4. Tying run is on deck. Supsky the batter, the shortstop, who's 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts and then a line out and a ground out on a kind of a bunt. First pitch from Woodward, and it's inside with a fastball for strike 1. Woodward has 14 strikeouts now in the summer. Looking to get all of it done here by himself at the plate. It was a walk and then a hit by pitch, and now back-to-back Ks. Woodward, the leg kick to the plate on the 0-1. Fastball right down Broadway, and he's got an 0-2 spot. 1 strike away from win 14. Hopper fans are getting on their feet. Woodward shakes off the sign. Now readies. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Pauses on the leg kick, then comes to the plate and misses downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good hold from the shortstop, Supsky. Supsky's got a .214 batting average and has recorded 2 RBIs this year. Out of his 9 hits, only 2 have been extra base hits, 1 a double and 1 a home run. Not ready's up. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Woodward to the dish. A swing and miss. 3 Ks. It will sit them down for win 14 of the season. Woodward slams the door, and the Hoppers win 7-3 on the road in Paducah. A terrific win, the bounce back after last night. And the Hoppers are back in the win column. We look at the lines so far on the day for this game. A great close there from Evan Woodward. Gets 3 strikeouts after the walk and hit by pitch. Winning pitcher will be Gabe Eddington in this one, I believe. He comes in during the 4th inning. I believe it actually might be, it's going to be Gabe Eddington from what I know. He gave up just 1 run on 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. The losing pitcher will be the Chiefs starter, Landon Pund. He went 4 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. We look ahead for the Hoppers to tomorrow. They are off, and then after that, they are back at home at Tiger Field, taking on the Fulton Railroaders. After that, they will be on the road against the Henderson Flash, where Friday they will return against the Flash at home at Tiger Field before going back on the road on Saturday to take on the Fulton Railroaders. Again, your Hoppers lead 7-3. We'll look around at some other scores in the Ohio Valley League. The Henderson Flash, the one game that really, really matters, is in the middle of the 9th inning, and the Flash lead 11-6. They look to hold on to that one, so the Hoppers would probably be in 2nd place, but only a half game out of 1st. They'll have some chances to snatch the lead in the league right back this week. Again, another terrific win, 7-3 here on the road. On behalf of the entire Hoptown Hoppers organization, I am Colin Crithers, wishing you a great rest of your night. We'll see you again on Wednesday.